What's going on? Welcome back, ladies and men of prestige. Welcome back to Men of Prestige. We have a conversation today uh, that's going to be interesting. We're profiling like a short mini profile of Pastor Toby Adegboyega. We're going to talk about Pastor Toby. Let me see here. Got to make sure. Okay. I'm hearing myself back, so I have to turn it off. Okay, good. At least we made sure that the audio is working. Sorry about that. What's going on, men of prestige, ladies of prestige, the prestige family? Welcome back. I know we're just finishing another party over at Auntie V's platform, but we're gonna start the show nonetheless. We have a conversation that we need to have today, right? So, definitely, this is gonna be another interesting one. Send this, go ahead as you're coming in, right? Send this right now to all the men in your life, your husband, your sons, your brothers, you know, your cousins that are men. They need to hear what I'm about to showcase today. Okay. This is going to be one of our very important conversations. Shout out to all of you 7 people watching me right from the beginning. Okay, this is going to be an interesting conversation. Okay, and before I get into it, actually, shout out to D Love, our first member ever. Our first member ever. Membership is open for anybody who wants to support. There are 3 levels. There's the support membership. There is also the elite membership, so $5. The first one is about $3, and the other one, the third one, is the partners level, which is I think it's $25. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to drop the link in a second so that just in case you want to have this conversation with me, I have a 10-minute video that we have to review together, but I want you to watch it first. Okay, I want to bring you up to speed with who Pastor Toby Adegboyega is. Okay, some of you may have seen him in the news since 2020, some controversies here and there, maybe True Daddy Freeze, right? We're gonna also talk about who Daddy Freeze is, right? But like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So go ahead right now, as you're dropping in right now, shout out to you. Just go ahead, hit that like button. And if you're brand new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on all notifications. Okay. And of course, share. Like I said, send an email with a link to the video to all the men in your life, young and old, especially if they're between the ages of 25 to 60. They need to watch what we're talking about here today. That's young enough to get some of these lessons. Okay. All right. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna play this video for you, and then we'll pick it up from once we're done with the video. I want you to watch the video, take some notes. I'm sure you've seen some of this if you're familiar with this guy already before, but I want to know your opinion as well. I want you to start sharing your opinion in the chat about this guy, what you're observing, completely brand new. But let's see what we have. We're talking about Pastor Toby Adegboyega. So let's get into the movie. Let's go.
this to give away. Yeah? So your first comment, let me see those who comment first. All the sneakerheads, you will become a mighty nation. Yeah. And so everyone watching me this afternoon are influencers. You've picked the phone now, like I said, and if you've been able to convince one person to tune in, convince them to leave a YouTube thumbs up or a message, you are an influencer. Otherwise, again, just what we're about to discuss, we'll be trying constantly to fit into society. So, and everything that you're then doing, you'll give up on it, because in comparison to the people that the world thumbs up, you feel like you're nothing. Now, that's a cowardly way of thinking. A real person does not mind how many. It's just, give me one person. And let me be able to convince this one person to create wealth, to make sure that people have. That's what it is. So I'm saying this again and again to say that we have an office now, a nice shield office. Those who will be sent money. Are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In 3 months or less than, I will be able to turn 1 million naira into 5 million naira.
What?
So this will be my strategy.
Tell me.
In a I will make sure I make nothing less than 30% in one trade. So I've already done my calculations. I will trade.
I would say you can only determine that you can do something because you saw somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So at the age of 22, I was trusted to administrate the first SPAC Nation welfare department. That's literally how the story began. Yeah.
Okay.
And
$1 million to the businesses, and let's do today. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. You'll see that we've gotten into the serious part. When I get to the serious part, I don't reply no negative stuff. I can't, because there's no time for that. We've had a good discussion. I still recommend that if you missed it, hide are cowards. Because I know pastors in Africa who have big cars, Bentleys and all that, but they drive Toyota to church. And I say, why do you do this? You do know this is deceit. That's my own opinion. Then they will say, you know, people will talk. And I'm saying, but then you should not get the car in the first place. For some of us, we are who we are. If I have a penny, somehow, once the boys around me know, it will get on him.
You think is the great work that you're doing?
I think intelligence is relative. Media is supposed to show you what you want to see. So she can't say all she sees because she hasn't looked. So what I would say is, look, because that will make you more intelligent and even help you for your own personal life, because you look beyond what is said.
You look beyond what is said.
I think...
Okay, when they are ready. Thank you, guys. Be seated, please. Livingston is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man. That's long. So, but thanks, guys. We'll come back. We'll sing together in a minute. Just was sleeping off.
You grow linearly. You know at the end of this happens. So men have built what is called reliable system. But in reliable systems, right, what you will never achieve is the life you want to live. You will live, but you will not live the life you want to live. You practice as a religion. And if we don't do that, we're not going to evolve. The West is evolving, Africa is devolving. Unfortunately so. We have to reject the religion, the practices, the culture that we met, because that culture did not do Nigeria or Africa any good.
When we couldn't reach what we're reaching for, it is not skill that failed us, it is knowledge. It just didn't know enough. You remember, you know how long we were thought about not being in debt. And not, but what we didn't know is that nations are in debt, billionaires are in debt, and in debt they rejoice. You'll get more updates, but guess what? My sons and daughters are out.
And this is the convoy. So I've got to show you so that you'll be inspired. If you're angry, it's because you don't like good things. We all walk that from the couches.
Whoa. Welcome, man.
So good to see you.
It's good to see you, please. Hi, Gordon, yes. You're very brave. This then is I've been dedicated.
Every single day. How many hours?
Maybe an hour. An hour.
Looking to buy back.
So we're looking to we sold that one.
I didn't like. I don't see it's from Sony. Hello.
But if you're really on the mad, it's from Sony.
Not even joking, make money every day.
Now we can start.
Yeah.
Now we can start.
Big Dan.
You look amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hi, please.
Any other bad ones? We thank you for the good life and health, peace, joy that you bestowed upon. Thank you for the stable friends and families all over the world. We thank if we raise our glasses to good life, prosperity, all the good desires of your heart come into pass in Jesus' name. Amen. Cheers. Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Bro.
Like this material, wow.
All right. That was a good one. Hopefully. Pastor Patrick, good to see you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes. I slapped that together really quickly after church today because I wanted to make sure that the person we're talking about, that at least people see a little bit of what we're talking about. You know, are you familiar with Pastor Toby at all?
Yeah, I've heard a little about him, but
Okay. All right.
Video, I can see one or two things about him.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know whether he's a preacher or is a stockbroker
Uh-huh.
or entertainer. I don't know his brand. Let me just put it that way.
Right, right.
They blend everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the money is coming from.
It's a lot of money, right? It looks like it's a lot of money.
Yes, so
Playing over there, right?
I don't get it. I don't have his profile. Just, we all know this guy of Tesla. We know his background.
Right.
Us, we know him. We know Zach, where he come from. We know Jeff. So those are the things we want to know.
Right.
The 21st century is all about empowerment.
Yes.
21st century church is all about empowerment of the youth.
Mm-hmm.
What do you empower people about their marriage, about their future, about their career, about their entire life? Not just throwing a carrot and people see and we don't even know what is the source, what is going on.
That's a good point.
That's my confusion right now.
I see. Well, we're going to talk about it. Now, first of all, I am not in this camp. I am not paid by him. Just anybody who is wondering, I've never met this guy ever before. The only thing I can see is what everyone else is seeing. Okay? What everyone is looking at on the internet is the same thing. It's just that his persona kind of reminds most people of a certain type of somebody just a few years ago. And we kind of wondered at that time too, like, okay, all right, I guess it's a real estate developer, right? Because that's what the other, in fact, I'm talking about Hush Puppy. He made news, and I don't mean any disrespect by any putting his name in the same sentence as Pastor Toby in the same sentence as Hush Puppy, but I'm making a point that that was the last person I personally saw that gave me that kind of vibe. Like, oh, this guy is a Gucci pastor. He's always wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all the fine designer brands, or should I say ratchet designer brand out there, right? But I'm looking a little bit closer, and he made a point in one of the clips that I just put together that I thought was interesting. It's the same message that I've been preaching, which is people should not assume, right? They should look if they want to know, right? Because it's easy to make assumptions, But before we move forward, you got time to hang out with me tonight, Bro Patrick?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with you, but at 5:50, I'm gonna be out. I'll come back.
Okay, no problem. Let me read his profile. His profile, according to Wikipedia, which is not the most reliable source ever, by the way. Just let's put that out there. That is not the most, Wikipedia is not the most reliable source, but this is the page that tends to come up whenever you're trying to do research about anybody. Is the page that tends to come up. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and we're going to dive in through that. Before I do that, let me just acknowledge. Let me steal my brother's Sahil's line here. Pardon my bad habit. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to acknowledge everyone that's here. Shout out to Angeline Owade. Welcome. Good to see you. Intentional parenting mom. That's an awesome one. Mr. Allah, I'm happy to be joining live after. Yes, we just finished that other party over there, right? That's awesome. And then D, welcome D, right? I think D came in late. Let me do a quick shout out to our first member, at least that I can see. I haven't checked in the back, by the way. But I can see that she joined through this live in the beginning before we started. Shout out to you, D. Thank you for all your support. D Love 3000. Shout out to Mary Uzo. Yes, I did see you over there, Mary Uzo, at TB's platform. I know this man, now Hush Puppy Pastor for UK. All right, and by the way, if anyone has ever attended this church, I would love to have you to speak to your experience at the church. I have never again. I'm making it very straight up right now. I don't know this man. I think my cousin said she might have stumbled into church. I have a ton of cousins in London, and I think she said she was invited one time. But I know churches like his. I've been a part of fellowships and ministries that almost follow the same line of showmanship, I should say, because I don't know what doctrine they practice inside. But from what I can see, I've been a part of this, and it's always a part of it. I understood it. A part of me always rubbed me off the wrong way, But some things work, and I'm going to talk about 10 of them tonight. 10 of them, 10 things that work. Okay, it works either you want to use it for bad or good. It works regardless. Okay, that this guy is practicing. So if you're wondering why you're seeing him all over the place, right? He's practicing at least 10 things. I'm going to share with all the gentlemen because I know you have a positive impact. Maybe it's not bad, but you have something you're trying to build. And I'm going to extract it from that video we saw earlier so we can leverage it, because again, anyone can teach you anything, right? Only one of them seems to be what we've been talking about, or what you will see everywhere else. Only one of them, right? And there's a way to flip that and use it for good as well. And I am not saying he's using it for bad, because I don't know him, right? The only thing we see is the persona. He definitely is coming off as a hush puppy pastor, Gucci pastor type of deal, right? But we don't know what we don't know. What if there's something illegal that we don't know, he's going to end up in jail. Guarantee you it's a matter of time. But we're not going to worry too much about that tonight. Hopefully it's not anything illegal, right? Now, he may have some things that are a little shady. We're going to talk about it, right? Shout out to always hanging out with celebrities, the likes of Davido, Obi Kubana, Eniola Badnos. Him be hush puppy pastor. See, you're convinced over there. Shopper Helper. Hi, straight from Obodo Onyibo TV. Good to see you. All right. And shout out to everyone that was here yesterday, especially Brother Patrick. That video is a hit. That video has about 1,300 views right now. So, Pastor Patrick, shout out to you. Thank you so much. A lot of people learned a lot from that video, including myself. And it's showing in the numbers. Yeah. All right. So, of course, on your coffee break is here. Shout out to you. Good to see you. Hello, Obodo fams on Men of Prestige. I know this platform was meant for men, but no, we're all here. All of you, all ladies and men of Prestige. We're all here. It's a Prestige family now. Okay? Because you're going to have sons. You have fathers. You have siblings, cousins that are men. You need to know these things. You are going to probably, hopefully, once upon a time, once in the future, live with a man. You know to know some of these things. At least you need to know what to expect from a man who is about his purpose. Okay? So shout out to you. So let me go into the so we can get some background here. According to its Wikipedia page, anyone can slap a Wikipedia page up, but once you see a few pictures and a few things there, it's a level of authenticity to it. It's not always all valid. So I want to make sure that we acknowledge that first. Okay. Let's see here. We got this. I'm gonna share this real quickly. There you go. All right, so when I first Google his name, this is what I see first. I see his pictures. It looks like those pictures I just pulled from Instagram. Someone would probably assume this is his wife. I'm not sure if he's married or not. But I'm just going to go straight into the Wikipedia because that's what's ranking at number 1 anyway. So it says born 11 November 1980. It's no wonder. Okay, I was born November 3rd, 1979. So I'm like a few days plus 1 year older than him, than Pastor Toby. He's the founder of Salvation Proclaimers Anointed Church, SPAC Nation, also known as the NXTION Family. All right, if you go on YouTube, they have a YouTube called The Family, but they replaced the A with an X. A Pentecostal Church based in London, England. He's a Yoruba by tribe. Now, I did pay attention to something. I have a very strong feeling he put this together, or somebody in his camp put it together. Okay, I noticed they didn't say Nigeria here, right? But sometimes Wikipedia collects this information from different places until you actually edit it. So you can see you can click edit here, but I think there's a way they also verify the information. So Tobi Adegboyega moved to London from Lagos, Nigeria in 2005. On arrival in London, he shared a room with his cousin, actor John Boyega. So Many of you, if you're familiar with Hollywood movies, he's a very popular guy in the Hollywood movie industry. I guess slash England, right? But he's very popular. Career. This is the question that Brother Patrick is asking. I don't know if he's going to tell us much, but let's see. His career, right? Pastor Toby Adegboyega started SPAC Nation in 2008. That's a while back. That's 3 years after he arrived in London. The church was started with 3 members. The church is based in Croydon, South London. As pastor, he encourages criminals to drop their weapons at the altar of his church during services. One of the things he's very proud of when he speaks is the fact that people, all those young kids with all the knife crime, they drop all those knives at his pulpit after ministration. So he's saving a lot of young men's life. Allegedly. An act that received both praise and criticism from the public. Okay, so I don't know why that will receive criticism, but I think if you're wearing Gucci, I think that can definitely make people feel some type of way, right? Especially with all that money, all those cars, right? Now, to be fair, I think it's only one car that is his. All the other cars are basically his members and some of his leaders, pastors. We're going to talk about that as well. On 20 May 2020, Toby Adegboyega stepped down as lead pastor of SPAC Nation. This is a very important detail. All right? I'm going to take note of that. That's a very important detail. Very, very important detail. Okay? And I'll tell you why once we get into the conversation a little bit more. Okay? And handed over to Samuel Akokia and Dami Balogun. The announcement was made via the church official Twitter handle. Okay. Now, controversies. A BBC Panorama investigation accused Adegboyega and other leaders of the church of financially exploiting members. I'm making it bigger so you can see.
I heard about that one too from somebody in England.
You did, right? That was like 2020.
Yeah, from some student getting money, loan coming to drop
loans. A lot of loans. Yes. I'll talk about that as well. The loans are, making people get loans. I am actually very familiar with that process, and I will talk about that as well. On 20 May, okay, we already talked about this. Let's go to the controversial session, right? Exploiting members of the church. Panorama interviewed members of the church who accused the church and suggested that Adegboyega be held accountable. Now, this wasn't possible. Now, I'll tell you, if you have time, I'll tell you why. This is not possible, okay? Panorama later released a video of Adegboyega quoted to say he believed it was no big deal for members of the church to give at least £1,000 a month to the church and that he needed to make £1 million monthly. That's a quote from Panorama according to Wikipedia. That is a big deal if you said that, right? Now, the way you interpreted that, you may say that's wrong, right? But let's see. Let's continue. A member of the church, Nino, claimed he was asked for £20,000 sterling by Adegboyega, who said he needed it for an investment. While the church denied these allegations, Adegboyega declined an interview with BBC Panorama. In January 2020, his church was accused of financial exploitation and fraud by Croydon North MP. I don't know what that is. London people, help me. What's MP? Steve Reed, this guy right here. Okay? All right. So I guess it's a politician, member of the Labour and Cooperative Party. He has been member of Parliament. Okay, so yeah. So I guess MP stands for Member of Parliament. There you go. But as of February 2020, the police said they would not launch a criminal inquiry. Why? This guy is supposed to be wrong just because somebody said he's wrong, Abby. Just because 10 people at his church that used to go to his church say he's wrong. He's supposed to be wrong, right? That's how our brain thinks, right? Normal people, right? Well, if you're a lady and a man of prestige, you are no longer normal. Okay? Touch your head and say, I am not normal. That means you're rising above normal, above average. Okay? That means you gotta be able to think a little bit deeper. Think, what else? What else? Okay, on the surface, yes, that's supposed to, like, this guy's a criminal. Let's just accuse him, right? But there's probably a reason why this guy said, and the police said, they're not going to investigate him, right? Is it because it's right? No, not necessarily either, right? It's not necessarily that it's because it's right either, right? Is it because he's paid them or bribed them? Who knows? Let me pull this closer so you guys can hear me clearly. Many other allegations of financial misappropriation, fraud, domestic, that thing, right? Abuse, sexual abuse, have been raised against his church, SPAC Nation, and pastors of the church. In 2019, SPAC Nation was accused of pressuring youth to sell blood. Now, the part that I'm paying attention to here is the fact that he wasn't, when people see this line, accused, what they see first is that, oh, he's been charged. That's what their brain goes to, right? He's being accused. If you're any part of any developed society, right, people are innocent until proven guilty. Just because a few youth on the street accused a guy of, especially something extremely, like, what do you mean by sell blood? They took their own blood? Is it goat blood, or what kind of blood are we talking about? Right? It's an extremely vague sentence. Look out for vague sentence, especially if the media is feeding you vague sentences. Be careful what you're consuming before you start to catch unnecessary anxiety. This could be your personal life. It doesn't have to be Pastor Toby, right? But anyway, they have a section here called the philanthropy, right? I told you something earlier. I feel strongly that this guy put this page together. Like, he's responsible for the content on this page. So if he's so responsible for the content on this page, why would he leave this section here? Controversy. Why would he leave this section here? Why? Right? Guess what normal people would do? Oh, let's just take that out so we can act like we've never been accused of anything before. All right? He left it there. In my personal opinion, he's responsible for this page. Just my opinion. I think he's responsible for this page. But deliberately left that there. But anyway, conveniently, there's also a section that says philanthropy. In 2018, Victoria Derbyshire did a piece on SPAC Nation and reported that Adegboyega had 14 ex-criminals living with him. I'm not sure what that means, but let's keep going. At the release of this convict from prison, he takes them in with the aim of making sure they don't fall back to crime. That's interesting. Now, if you've paid enough attention in this life, there's something about this type of people, 14 ex-criminals. They are highly gifted people. They are criminals still, but they're highly gifted people. I just want to give you, I want to encourage foresight, being able to see beyond what you're seeing in front of you, right? While that doesn't stop you from condemning bad behavior, you can still condemn bad behavior without condemning the people behind the bad behavior. You can still hold people accountable without condemning them, right? Everyone has to pay some kind of price. I don't care how old you are, you have to pay a price for being a human being, for being so lucky. 1 out of 400 million cells from your father's sack made it to be a human being. What a blessing. There's a price for being blessed like that, right? So anyway, you can see basically, okay, he encourages former gang members to drop their weapons at the altar during services and give them new means of life. In 2019, he announced his readiness to alleviate poverty among youth in Lagos State with creation of jobs through the waste management business. Waste management business. Who would have thought? What do most normal people do when they see waste along the Lagos streets? What, answer me in the chat. What do most normal people do when they see waste? Right? Oh, by the way, it's not just Lagos. You should come to New York City. New York City smells. Okay? What do most normal people do? Right? When they see waste and they're walking by, what do? Right? Well, most people walk by, but what do most people do when they get home about that? What do they do? Like, New York City smells. Or Lagos is the worst. That's what the most normal people do, right? I'm going to be talking from both sides of my mouth. I'm warning you right now, okay? I'm warning you, okay? But I want us to pay attention to some solid lessons here. Okay, let's keep going. In March 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, he sent relief materials to the less deprived. You never see this on Instablog Niger. You guys are going to think I'm being paid by this guy. I don't know this guy. I promise you I don't, okay? But I have 10 secrets that I want to expose about him. You might be able to leverage it for good things. I don't know what he's doing inside of his camp. For all I know, he may be destroying a bunch of young men who have stolen money to buy all of these Lamborghinis, all those yellow-red Lamborghinis that you were seeing earlier. Oh yeah, we played a 10 minutes video if you came late. I'll play it again. I promise, okay? Okay. Most populated communities and villages in Nigeria, Ghana, and Tanzania, the same gesture was replicated in some states. Now, in the same breath, if I said he's responsible for this page, what's stopping him from putting this up here? But again, they're citing people. They're citing, look at this. No, not that. Financial Times. He hosted a breakfast with Financial Times. That looks like a reputable place, right? And with other leaders present to discuss opportunities available to Nigerian youth. All right. I think it's important that we talk about this. Toby Adegboyega's cousin is just a cousin to a superstar, I guess. He lives in a 2.5 million pound sterling mansion in, how do you pronounce that? Sorry? I don't know. Whatever. In a 2020 interview, he stated he had been married for 8 years. Okay, so now we know he's married for 8 years. People were wondering at one point. The Wikipedia says he's married. Now, there's some references here. Pulse Nigeria. You can easily pay people on Pulse Nigeria to publish stuff. But there's Mahoney, Daniel Churchill, Star Wars. I guess that's I don't know if that's a reference. Just because we mentioned the name of John Boyega. Pastor calls neighbors hateful and racist over late night parties. Oh, let's see that. It's removed. It was on Punch News and it's removed. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Pastors in Nigeria owned UK accused of pressurized. Okay, that's the Guardian Nigeria stuff, right? Let's see if that's removed because he's becoming more and more powerful in Nigeria. By the way, you can see he has his Louis Vuitton belt, of course. That's probably a Rolex in his hands, right? So there's a whole interview here about him, right? Okay. All right. So yesterday, before I talk about yesterday, what happened was in 2020, we were all locked up, right? Let's go back to the show now. So we got 40 people in the house. You guys are the best. All right. Good. All right. Let's see here. Let me just remove that from the screen. All right, great. And let me say this before I pull Patrick to the stage. In 2020, I stumbled across this YouTube channel just going hard at this guy. The guy would basically cover his voice and just say all these different things and accusing PT, they call him PT, Pastor Boyega, accusing him of all these different atrocities. You know, they're pressurizing the youth. The youth, it looks like it's a cult, and all this kind of stuff, right? And the guy was going in, he will cover his voice, which means he didn't want his identity out there. But so it looked like he was attending the church just to come and tell us on YouTube what was going on in that camp. So since then I stumbled in, so I start just watching, The moment I found out he has an Instagram page, I see some similarities between him and a hush puppy. In my opinion, some things are obvious. Like if there's criminal behaviors and stuff like that, they are obvious. But obvious doesn't mean it's true. It just doesn't mean that. Somebody like PT may have been able to hack something. He's figured something out. He can look like hush puppy and do the right thing and create some positive impact. That's my hopes in this world, right? So I kept watching him. And then in recent times, we see that, okay, Daddy Freeze. Who is Daddy Freeze? Let me show you who Daddy Freeze is, right? All right. So let's do this. Let's talk about Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze is XOAP. That means on-air personality. He's a retired OAP, radio personality in Nigeria. Well known, you know. He also became extra popular once he started kicking against the idea of tithing in church some few years back. I think he used to attend House on the Rock by Pastor Adi Farasin, but it was very public. I think he was first interviewed on Linda Ikeji's platform, and then he went viral. But then, I think at one point he traveled to Dubai to go hang out at the Versace Palace. It's called the Versace Palace in Dubai. I think that's what it is, right? And then, was hanging out with Hush Puppy, He got accused and dragged on the internet for hanging out with a criminal. We now know today that Hush Puppy is a criminal, right? Oh, by the way, that's not an orange suit. That's just an orange shirt. All right. So he's showing some sneakers right here, right? So it gives me that vibe. But here's why you should never assume. But in recent times, Daddy Free has traveled twice that we've seen on the internet, thanks to, shout out to Instablog Nigeria, traveling to London to go have, spend some time with this guy. But we also know that Daddy Free seems like a guy who likes nice things, like cars, Rolex, and things like that. Those kind of things, not particularly dressing in Louis Vuitton all the way down like Pastor Toby, right? So that's basically what I've been watching. So yesterday, how did we get here? Yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that, Daddy Freeze did a video showing behind the scenes of this guy's operation. It's just a video. We don't know what we're seeing. But I have a feeling like I can read people. I don't think Daddy Freeze would do anything like take money to showcase a positive side of a person unless he truly believes in it. Now, he can be naive and be completely, like naive like he did with Hush Puppy, right? But they showed some things, and I was able to extract these 10 lessons. That I'm like, interesting. There's only one of it that falls in the category that all of us generally would like to see on Gist Lover, on Instablog Nigeria, or any other places where it's just all about the gossips. Okay? And I thought that men would need to see this because I know that majority of men are good people that want to do some good things. And sometimes we're too holy for our own good, and we're not learning some of the skill sets that's necessary to build an empire. I'm a big fan of building an empire. Okay? And part of it is what you may consider cult, right? When you see something and your first was like, oh, it looks like this guy is just running a cult. Well, loyalty, right? That is camp. Everybody in his camp is loyal to him. Is it because he has a gun to their head? Probably not. Does he have a skill set? I've been around some really, really great people, right? That have some skill set that they can make the people around them to submit to what? To a vision. Okay? And criminals are good at it. Okay? Not Pastor Toby. I'm not sure if he's a criminal. I don't know him like that. But criminals are drug dealers are good at this kind of stuff. And if you're going to build a business, a church, or anything worthwhile, you need to learn that is a real thing, right? Even Jesus Christ practiced it. Why do you think he had 12 disciples? You think that was a joke? Right? And we have a way of justifying even the people who follow if we really like them, right? So that's that right there. That's all I have to say so far. We have to review the video, okay? But I want to hear what Brother Patrick wants to say, because I know he has to leave and then he might come back later. Brother Patrick, you can come to the stage and share your thoughts so far with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna in a couple of minutes I'm gonna be leaving, but I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna mute. When I come back, that's when I talk. But I really let me just take this from Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze has the word, it's loaded. He knows the word. That's some of his preaching I've listened to, not about tithing, but I know this guy, he dissects the word. I know the Bible says that the gift of the man makes room for him.
Okay.
He will stand before kings.
Sorry, you can hear me clearly, right? Somebody's saying in my volume. Okay, just want to make sure.
He said the gift of the man make room for him. He will stand before kings and not mean men. Yeah, but one thing that troubled me about Daddy Freeze is I don't know Daddy Freeze brand. Yeah. I don't really know his brand. Is he preaching faith? Is he preaching Jesus?
Now you're talking as a saved Christian. Okay.
Yeah, as a preacher, you know.
Okay, as a preacher, yes.
Yeah, as a preacher, you know. Like Jesus, Nicodemus came to Jesus at night. Zacchaeus came to Jesus and said, I'm going to give everything I've stolen. And Jesus preached Christ today. So what must I do to be born again? So, I know we are talking about posterity and future this time around.
Right.
If Daddy Free is not going to be in his room forever and be pointing hand, you know, you need to move forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he's still a radio broadcaster or he's minister.
No, he retired. He retired to just being a YouTuber.
I know what I'm saying, but it's a blend right now. Is he ministering to soul? Because I watched the video, he went to Hush Puppy. He was eating chicken and Hush Puppy was telling him, people don't know.
Right.
Don't know. And he was saying, man, forget those people. Like, what is this man talking about? What does Hush Puppy do? We know people that went to Malaysia.
Right.
Hush Puppy moved from Malaysia to Dubai. We know what they are doing. What is Hush Puppy's job?
Right.
Hush Puppy didn't go to school.
Mm-hmm.
We know Elon Musk. We know the life history of Jeff Bezos. We know all of them.
Right.
That's what I want to see. And like I said, the 21st century church is all about youth empowerment.
Right.
What are these people selling to the youths, especially the Christians? The hardworking people will be making mockery of Christians. Look at these people. They are just jokers.
Right.
What do they have to offer? What is their products? Is it by wearing Gucci shoe? How many times have you seen, what's it called? This man Bigate wearing Gucci shoes? What are they selling to? What are they doing to alleviate poverty? When a lot of, how many youths are unemployed in Nigeria? Is it by going to Dubai to go and eat chicken? Have you not eaten chicken in your house? And he was showing when they were serving them breakfast in this guy's house too. Like, what is wrong with Daddy Freeze? Is he hungry?
Pastor Patrick.
I'm sorry.
I hear you. Go ahead.
At that level, you know what I mean?
Right.
Be able to influence some youths, so that, you know, people that can be there, make disciples of people. Are we getting it? So that's why I'm confused. I don't understand.
What does this stand for? You're wondering, what does this stand for? Where does this stand exactly?
Yeah. I don't understand this guy. I know he can bring people to talk about business, and it's to, you know, going to charge them or whatever. You know, I don't really understand. So that's why I'm confused with Daddy Freeze.
I see.
Yeah, that's my take. I don't really understand that.
I hear you. We're gonna talk about it. I know you're gonna go maybe handle some things and then come back. But 100,000 people on YouTube are not. They don't seem to be. They might be confused. They don't seem to have a problem following him. They're subscribed to this channel and they're listening to him. They're listening to the ratchet gossip. They listen to his words from when he dissects the words. He talks about. I think he talks about forex trading. And then he showcases the likes of Hush Puppy and Pastor PT, right? So, and we also know that he's into cars. You know, he's retired now from being a radio host after years. He just focuses on his online content, which makes a lot of money, by the way. That's more than enough. If you have 100,000 subscribers, that can sustain a family successfully and be able to travel to London, especially if you have a name like his, to go hang out with people that that don't mind the attention, right? So, but yes, some good questions that I think a lot of people have that you raised there, you know. But yeah, so you're gonna go and then you come back, right? Yeah, I think it's gone already. Awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna come back.
Okay. And no, Wala, just tell me I'm back when you're back, and then or just show me your face in the studio, and then I'll pull you back up. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is a good one. Okay. This are there's 10 things. I've been showing you some of them already. Okay, I was intentionally showing you so you can pick them up. Okay, and none of this stuff are by themselves negative. It depends on what you use them for, right? None of them are negative by themselves. Okay, it depends on what you use them for. So with that being said, what I want to do right now is I want to go through the video. Okay, after I address some of your comments, and then we'll get into it. If you want to co-host with me and Pastor Patrick, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let me go and see some of your comments, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Let's see. So hopefully it's better now, Angeline. Hopefully it's better right now. The volume, right? All right. So somebody said Surrey. I don't know if Surrey or sorry. I know it's for the reach. Sounds like it's something for the reach, right? Let's see. Okay, yes. The channel I was trying to remember earlier was the Exposer. Okay, that's the guy that covers his voice, distorts his voice. It sounded like he was still going there, even though he said he was an ex-member, but he was still exposing videos for a while. But I think he finally got tired and shut down. Because I haven't seen his videos in a long time. It could also be because I'm not engaging the videos anymore longer. See, once I'm listening to a video and I don't see substance, just because you accuse somebody, it's not good enough for me. You can't just show me 3 teenagers say, oh, this guy stole money from me, and like after a while I'm like, okay, tell me more. That's not good enough, right? Okay, so let me go back up here. Okay, so yes, so BBC Panorama had it, and shout out to Jane Mevo says he was exposed on BBC Panorama and watched it live. Okay. He was telling students to take loans. All right. So this part, right? Telling students to take loans can backfire really badly. Okay. I've been partners with organizations that have done that in the past. And these were not students. These were grown people who wanted to buy a package, a business startup package. When they say, I don't have money, they always have a loan officer standing by. Will say, you don't have money? Well, you know that most people, that's part of the talk. Most people that started a business started with other people's money. OPM, right? That's part of the speech, right? And we have this guy over here. He would check your credit and see if you qualify. They pre-qualify you instantly. You pay for it. You started your business just like that. So to me, there's nothing new about that, but I also know that whoever is the person who has that loan officer on standby like that can get in trouble easily if enough people are complaining. See, not because they did anything wrong, it's because the authorities would deem them as dangerous to society if enough people are complaining. You don't have to do anything wrong. It's just enough people have to complain that you're hurting them, and you will be removed from society, at least for a while. So I understand what he was trying to do. I have an idea the kind of operation it was running there. But usually, all of these people are usually young. Like Pastor T is young. It's not that young. He's, 40 years old now? 41, right? But maybe he hasn't learned before. So he probably, hopefully, he's learned a better way to do this in a way you got to get people to sign disclosures, give them the opportunity to say, hey, by the way, you can bring a lawyer to check this paper for you. But if you're at a sales event and then there's a guy who gives loans standing right by, that can be easily considered predatory behavior. So that's what I think that's from. If you know anything about this, please speak up. But I have some experience there, and I know people that have gotten in trouble for that. Thank you for that, Member of Parliament. Don't worry, I will come and spend enough time in London so I can just know these things once and for all. Tiki Shack says, until people understand that church, pastor, and anything related to religion is all business. Facts. Now, one person I know doesn't shy away. 2 people I know, they don't shy away from this idea. I haven't heard other people say it. Is TD Jakes and Pastor Toby. Pastor Toby is pretty clear right now. Okay? And I told you earlier that I'm going to go back to this and mention this, right? This part where he stepped down as lead pastor of SPAC Nation, he knew exactly what he was doing. Because again, it's something called conflict of interest. He's trying to continue certain types of operations without getting entangled up with that. Oh, you're supposed to be the GO of this church. So instead, he assigned another GO. What does it take? Paperwork, some contracts, You don't own the church. I own the damn church. You report to me. Right? While everyone else on the internet is falling over each other, trying to determine who is the owner of the church. It's just, to him, this is damn near psychopathic behavior, but not. It's just understanding people. Okay. All right. Good. So that's that right there. Let's go back. Let me see. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, I'm trying to get the. Okay. I'm trying to get where I stopped. Mugu members. Etc. say, I says Mugu members or Mumu members. Oh, Mumu members. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's where we stopped. Perhaps they believe it's a black people problem. Well, a lot of this issue is black people problem. Okay. We have trouble understanding power, and we have trouble understanding how to maintain power. We have serious negotiation skill set problems. Okay. And the further down the hole we go, the harder it is to get out of it. You know, but we can start from individuals, you and I, learn how to negotiate. It's not always that somebody's out to get you. They just have an upper hand. It's not always that it's about black and white or right and wrong. Sometimes it's just fair in love and war, right? But the moment you act like a victim, it perpetuates itself. It repeats itself. It's like a machine. It just keeps repeating itself. Even if you were really a victim in the first place. Like, it has no mercies. Once you say, okay, I'm a victim, let me keep playing victim, it just kind of continues by itself, especially if you're a man. Especially if you're a man. Okay? Every situation you find yourself, you have to own it and say, why am I saying that? Now, remember what I said about the controversies. You could easily go into that page and click edit and submit some information and say, this is not true or false or anything like that. Maybe Wikipedia will say, but we still got to show something, but we'll take your words and put your words next to it, right? But I think he likes the controversy, right? I think he likes the controversy, and that's why. Number two is controversy. It's a secret. That's one of his secrets. Every time you guys talk about controversy, what does it do? It comes and record a video about it. This controversy right here, let me play this controversy for you. This was just a few weeks ago.
And even help you for your own personal life, because you look beyond what is said.
You look beyond what is said. I think. Okay, when they are ready. Thank you, guys. Be seated, please. Livingston is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man. That's long.
What did people on the internet do after this? What did they do? They take this as controversy. They run with it. They started talking about it. Now, what did he do the following morning? I think about 2 days later. He came and said, I heard some people have a problem. If a song is boring with me, it's boring. What do you want me to do? He recorded a video, a follow-up video, to continue the controversy, right? Some controversies will kill you. Some will build your empire. You need to be aware of that. Okay? Now, if you're committing crime just to create controversies, you will end up in jail. And it's not going to be worth it. Osh Poppy will probably tell you that once it comes back. It's not going to be worth it. So I am never encouraging you to say, hey, let me just create controversies just so I can. Never. Excuse me. Don't do that. But what I'm saying, if you have a past that's controversial in nature, I was trying to tell Bishop this, he didn't understand it. He didn't get it. If you have a past that's controversial, own it with your full chest. I made a mess. But owning it, you gain an extra respect. Human beings, they forget and forgive easily. If you can own your shit. If you're not able to own your shit, it gets worse and worse and worse. If you try to lie to cover the last lie, it's not sustainable. You will die there just trying to do that. It's not worth it. But if you happen to have had some controversies in the past, it's part of your story. In fact, the story gets sweeter when you say that part of it and you now say, like, controversy in philanthropy, like, it makes it sweeter because what I call the frame of reference. A lot of people don't understand frame of reference. They just want to tell about themselves that I'm a good person, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy. And then they wonder why the world is not paying you back for being a good guy or good woman. It's boring to human beings. Human beings don't care about how good you are. They just don't. They only care about what they care about. That's when I see people say narcissistic, like, dude, stop. Everyone has narcissistic traits because people only care about their own feelings at the end of the day. And if it gets down to it, they will hurt you if it makes them feel better. All right, let's keep going here. I'm just going through your comments because I want to engage you guys, right? All right, let's see. All right, so he has, let's see. He has been exposed by, we talked about that earlier. His cousin distanced himself from him due to the numerous scandals. Yes, if it gets down to it, but that's publicly. It's publicly. It probably doesn't want video in his face because guess what? He understands how to use attention, right? So he has one little guy, 13, 14, 18 years old, following him around with a camera, right? Because he understands attention. People want to talk. Give them something to talk about. What does that do? Give you exposure for your empire. What does your empire need? Let's talk about what your empire needs. Ladies and gentlemen of prestige, the main thing that your empire needs is what? People. This guy understands people. Okay? Not only does he understand people, he's building leaders out of them. Go watch when you get a chance. I'm promoting Daddy Free's platform right now. Go watch that video on Daddy Free's platform. He's building people. All those cars, according to him, even if it's a narrative that he's telling, is still valid, right? All those cars are owned by the people he's mentored. All these different pastors all over the place, different parts of London. They have what they call houses, where they're taking care of some of those guys with bad past history, right? So he understands people, and then he pays attention to some of them that are leaders. It builds them, make them daddy GOs that reports back to him. If you understand this, right, if you make it not about yourself, right, this attention part seems like it's about him, but it's just a front-end promotion for everything else that's going on behind the scenes, right? For example, this part right here.
I'm saying this again and again to say that we have an office now, a nice shield office. Those who will be sent money. Are you? Okay.
Listen to this part.
In 3 months or less than, I will be able to turn 1 million naira into 5 million naira.
What?
So this will be my strategy.
Tell me.
I will make sure.
She said in less than 3 months, I'll be able to turn what? 1 million naira to 6 million naira, something like that. And he said, and then she said, this is going to be my strategy. And then he goes, tell me. Even if you look at the way he talks, he's never in a rush. Compare this guy, this young 40-year-old man, to that 70-year-old man yesterday that was yelling at the top of his lungs at his wife. Who do you think is going to have more control of his household and his camp? Right? Now, that guy right now, he's probably going to try to hide. He has the controversy yesterday. Now, everybody's carrying around, right? He was yelling at his wife. He probably can't catch himself. He probably doesn't know what he knows. If he's ever going to come out in public, he'll probably be busy trying to say, I want to clean my name. I want to clean my name. Bro, of course you should clean your name. But you're missing the whole opportunity here, right? You have a controversy. You're just a human being who made mistakes in the past. Boom! Human beings can relate with you. You have a story to tell. But guess what normal people do? They take that story, they try to hide it and cover it. And then everybody's like, wait, because even look at what Brother Patrick was asking. The only thing we know about you is everything that's good. If we dig a little bit extra, we can't find anything, like, that's not good. You need to be able to own any controversies that come with your past, with your full chest. As long as you're not implicating yourself, don't be stupid, okay? I'm not saying go and admit to the rest of the world that you buy a few people. No, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about something that the whole world knows anyway, and now you're actively trying to cover it up, and you notice that it's not working. Just own it. Oh, I cheated on my wife 3 years ago. I got caught, but, I've become a better man since then. Learn how to say stuff like that. Trust me, people respect you more. Rather than there's a video online everywhere, but you're just gonna come and like it's obvious that was you, but you're just gonna come and say, oh no, especially like it's not everything you have to. I'm just saying, if you're trying to build something and somebody is bringing that up, it's not a big deal. Watch Tinubu how he moves. Just watch Tinubu how he's moving. It's not about being holy. At the end of the day, it's about the attention and the controversy, and then all the good deeds you're doing. Trust me, people will find them. Okay, they live longer anyway. Okay, let's go back to here. You guys are giving me so much material to talk about, but I think it's necessary that we do this. Shout out to everyone that's commenting. I'm coming to you. I promise I'm coming. All right. So my question is this: why are we so concerned with this pastor where there are many like him in Nigeria? Just a question. Good question. I think I can answer that very easily. That's very, very easily. Number one, attention. Somebody is Googling him. How honest do you want me to be? I beg. Right? Right? Number two, controversy is attached to his name. What pastor do you want me to talk about? The one in Idore with 3 members in his church? If he has enough controversy and there are lessons to talk about, I will talk about it. That's why. All right. Okay. Intentional parenting, mom says. Let me see here, because you guys are moving so fast. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. Somebody please still tell me. Find a way to type it in Yoruba so I can get it right. Is it Sure or Sure or Sure or Sure or Sarai? How do you pronounce it? Spell it in Yoruba for me. Sure has a lot of affluent people. Okay, we're kind of clear on that. Okay. Daddy Freeze is Alabosi. Well, people like him, let's be honest. He's running the platform. He has to talk from both sides of his mouth. People accuse me of that all the time. Okay. If you want my personal opinion, I'll give you my personal opinion. But when I'm talking and I'm addressing something like this publicly, I have to be able to see from a lot of sides, not just 2 sides. Okay. So maybe that's what we're seeing. And but I have also, to be fair to you, I've seen something like he would just at one point when he was addressing the tithing thing. I'm not really a tither ideology, religion person either. But when it was addressed, I'm like, okay, Otito, that's enough. Find something else to talk about. All right. I was like that too. So I understand how people may see him, but Daddy Freeze is one of our first supporters. We launched a YouTube channel in 2009, my wife and I, and he was one of our first supporters because he gave us a drop that we used for probably 2 years before we dropped that, and eventually I mistakenly deleted the channel because it wasn't performing anyway. So I didn't bother about it. But yes, shout out to Daddy Freeze. Yes, he does talk from both sides of his mouth. I understand it. Alabosi means two-faced. Okay, somebody already said that. A sellout are two-faced. Yes. It's for sale. Well, he runs a platform just like this platform. Yes. I come here and I chat with you guys, and I'm able to afford to do it because it costs money and time, which is much more valuable than money. So I expect him to sell. As a matter of fact, it's illegal to not sell. It's a sin to not sell if he's doing what he's doing. All right, we already hopefully, Angeline, we already fixed that. I've seen that a few times. Let's see here. Daddy Freeze is very biased. He's never balanced on his views. Yes, and I've heard him, like, if he says that's my friend, don't expect him to say anything bad about that person. I also understand it because Nigerians, Nigerian journalists is not the same thing as journalists overseas, right? For obvious reasons. A little side pocket money, packaging on the side like that. You saw a few of it when Eniola was visiting PT earlier, right? Honorarium, whatever you want to call it. It happens in churches in Nigeria too, just in case you didn't know. They do pay honorarium to the pastors that comes to preach, right? And sometimes the pastors get angry because it's too small. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah, they do. They do. Why? Because they're human beings and they are selling, okay? He's never balanced on his views. I don't like that about him. He curses a lot. about the course too, intentional parenting, mom. I haven't cursed today yet, Abby. All right. But I hear you. Daddy Freeze is anywhere the money is at. Yeah. You know, it's a guy who likes fine things. I like fine things too, but if something, I don't have to be able to prove you that you are a criminal, but if it looks a certain way, naturally I just won't be able to be around that situation. But some people don't mind, you know. Like he had a point. Somebody just came in the studio, called herself Finer Things. I love it. I'll get to you in a second. Thank you. Let's see here. It's anywhere the money is at, especially if you have fine taste for exotic cars. Yes, and Rolex. Right? He obviously sells false dreams to young, vulnerable, impressionable people. That's a good point. And I want to talk about this point, right? Before we get into this point right here, let me just hi, Finer Things. How are you?
Hey, how you doing now? How's it going?
I do. Good to see you. Where are you calling from? Just tell me.
I'm in New York.
Oh, you're in New York. You're my neighbor. That's awesome.
I'm your neighbor. Yeah.
Awesome.
You know what? Like this Daddy Freeze guy, he's like me. Like he likes to. But you know, I'm actually suspicious of him. I feel like if you look at what happened to this guy, what's the scammer guy?
Hush Puppy.
Yeah, honestly, I actually feel like this guy I don't know if he's working with some agencies or something. I feel like he's
okay. You don't hold on. You don't want to be on the video. Okay, I got you. You can keep talking. Keep talking. Sorry, I just saw that. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I feel like he might be onto that. I feel like I'm onto something. I think that it's almost like he's creating a trail of evidence that is public, whereby he's putting this guy in a trap, and these guys don't get it. That's kind of my way of thinking. I don't know.
Wait, you think Daddy Freeze is trying to snitch on this guy or expose him?
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. That's just me. Because yeah, that's what I think. Because I mean, I really think that this Pastor Toby guy would get something's coming. Something's
coming. Yeah.
Because his lifestyle, I mean, I like nice things, but he's really excessive, and so he's being investigated, and Daddy Freeze is onto it.
Right.
And just like what's the other guy? Hush Puppy got it coming. This guy is getting it coming. And Daddy Freeze is part of the whole thing. Because I just think that. Yeah, he likes
nice Do you think Daddy Freeze was behind how Hush Puppy got caught?
It wasn't behind, but he played a part. He provided a trail of evidence. He was part of the trail of evidence.
That's an interesting perspective.
That's just me.
Wow.
Person. That's how I think.
That's an interesting perspective. I didn't think of it that way. But you know, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible.
You just never know, man. I mean, these days you just never know what's going on.
So any other Hush Puppy or PT that's coming right now, when Daddy Freeze say, my guy, make I come visit you for the guy will just say, I heard Finer Things on Men of Prestige say, you know, they tend to find people. Once you come and visit, I beg, pack.
They literally, this guy's gonna be in trouble soon. I don't know how he's covered his tracks. I just don't think if you're so like
he claims they are trading. What Daddy Freeze showed on the video I saw yesterday, the only thing he showed is just a bunch of, I know he's good at selling a vision to those young people. Somebody just said it's selling dreams, right? He called them wealth creation. See, some people try to put this kind of guy they put his name next to a Mandela or something. Are you mad? Mandela didn't have to say wealth before he could have people follow him. If you have to say the word wealth to get a bunch of young kids that have never had any experience in life, they never had their first child, and you get them to follow you just because you're saying wealth. I would definitely discount your ability to influence, because that word carries weight by itself.
I mean, it's psychology. Young people are impressionable. I mean, I remember when I was 16, I don't know, 17 or whatever, 18, 19, 20. Somebody comes in with like a Rolex watch, just seeing that Rolex watch.
Just flashing, right?
Like,
Yeah.
you guys are not making any money. I want to listen to this guy. This guy is the ish. So
Yes.
it's the psychology of it. Like, and even people that are older but have never seen money before,
Right.
it's easy to be impressed by somebody who is sweet talking and saying, that marketing people use it all the time. The sales guys,
Absolutely.
whatever, what's this guy's name? Whatever. Anyway, I listen to a lot of them. That's what they use. It's psychology, and he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. Yeah. The question is that how far is he gonna go? And I think if he has nothing criminal going on behind the scenes, I think he can go far with it. I think if he has something criminal, he's definitely go very far all the way into the jail, into prison.
Yeah, if he doesn't have anything criminal, for sure he can get away with it, because at the end of the day, he's really just selling dreams and people fall for it. He hasn't done anything criminal. It's just used people. It's just manipulated people.
Right.
But it's only if he gets into crime. It's just like this pastors. Look, whatever. We can get into all that. But anyway, I'm not going to go into. But it's just like all the other pastors. They come in, they make a great sales pitch. People fall for it because they can't think for themselves. And they take their money, and you can't really say you were defrauded because you gave them your hard-earned money yourself. And there's no way to get any evidence because of psychology. So hey, either use your brain or you get swindled. Look, if I could do that, if I was
people are aligning with your thoughts. They're saying you might have a point. This guy's a goddamn snitch. Okay, I didn't say you're a snitch or Daddy Freeze. I'm just saying that's what Final Things is saying.
I think so, but you know what? I love Daddy Freeze. Look, I like any guy who's smart. Like, get your money, like whatever. Like, for me, it's like if you're not smart enough to read between the lines, whether you're a Daddy Freeze who is a snitch, or you're a Pastor T who is a manipulator. Like, if you're not smart enough to have your own mind, that somebody can swindle you. Look, I've had my own mind since I was like 15. Like, nobody can swindle me.
Unless it's a Rolex, because you said when you were 19, 18. See, I know you forget stuff.
I know, right? Like, I don't know if it's my dad. My dad is a Muslim, my mom is a Christian, and I've always seen kind of both
sides of things. That's good.
Yeah, so it gives you a perspective on just how people think. So if you're gonna sit there and let somebody's opinion and just their way of life deceive you into just ruining your own life, then that's on you. You're a human being. You should be able to think yourself, and you should have your own aspirations and dreams on how you're going to do that and how you're going to accomplish those without getting yourself in trouble. So that's my own 2 cents.
All right. Thank you so much for coming up. Feel free to come back anytime, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Cheers.
But Patrick, you don't come back. I don't see you. On mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right. So were you listening, or you need a quick catch up, or should we just go to the comments?
I was listening, but I got sidetracked by somebody calling me again. So I'm everywhere.
So Final Things came in and said, shortly after Daddy Freeze visited Hush Puppy, he got caught. It looks like I'm not sure if she said in those exact words, like it almost seemed like some authorities are using Daddy Freeze to catch some of these guys. It gets near them. I said it's only 2 that we've seen, but that's some interesting perspective.
You are very right. Bro, let me say something. This Christianity we are talking about, we have to be very careful. And God has given us a supernatural gift if we can use it. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I have one friend who is a police officer. Brother Allah, this is the only police officer in my team that I really know that doesn't collect bribe. Very smart guy.
In Nigeria.
Listen, the guy is late now.
Okay. But this is in Nigeria, right?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
He's a graduate. He was in the force then more than 10 years. Brother, can you believe he was denied promotion? This guy was a brilliant officer.
That sounds like Peter Obi to me, but go ahead.
So you know what happened?
Yeah.
We were both Sunday school teacher.
Uh-huh.
This guy, somebody gave him a land. He doesn't have money to build a house. He gave it to the church.
Mm.
You know, when I wedded, he said, Brother Patrick, I don't have money, but I will just buy you a bag of fries. He bought me a bag of fries. Struggle, I really appreciate it. In fact, police band came to play at my wedding through him. People were like, Patrick, are you? And the police, I said, no. This man rose to the position of an inspector general of police.
Eventually, how long did it take him, Sha?
My brother, the way God fasting everything. This man is an excellent officer with integrity. What I'm trying to say with you, whatever you put your mind in with God and you are serious with it, you will surely make it.
Right. Let me say this before you continue. D, if you have those links to those type of videos, send it to my Instagram. DM me on my Instagram if you have links to those videos. Just in case I want to revisit this in the future, just to assess them. Okay. A video of evidence of him demanding money from SPAC Nation members, and freeze. For me personally, I would never say never, because I don't know him, right? But I could just tell from the surface, I'm not comfortable with flamboyant and extravagant stuff, generally speaking. So I probably won't be around a bunch of people wearing Gucci and showing all out. It's just not who I am, So, but I even if I will be, I will, with my full chest, says I assessed it objectively. So if you have any videos of evidences, and it's just not, again, a bunch of teenagers accusing a person, that's not necessarily good enough, because sometimes teenagers don't know what they want, and once they get burnt after their father told them don't go to that church, they will now come out crying and say somebody took money from them, when there's evidence that they willingly submitted their credit information to collect that loan. So I'm just saying, but if you have anything, send them to me. Thank you. Go ahead, Brother Patrick.
So, by the grace of God, like I said, we have that gift. I said, in the gift of the man, make room for him. He will stand before kings and not mean men.
The gift.
Yes.
Now, is it? Can I argue that the fact that this guy knows all 10 of these things that I've just shared today, which I will still go over later on, is that a gift? Because most normal human beings, they don't know these things. They just think everything is about right and wrong. They don't know that even their own pastor who preached that thing to them is using the same things to gain their influence. Can I argue that that's a special gift on his part?
I just told you about Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus that came to Jesus that swindled people.
Yes.
That I'm going to surrender everything.
Yes.
Jesus did not condemn him now. So, brother, you have that gift in you.
That's deep. That's deep. I have to go and search that Zacchaeus story and refresh myself fast. Yes, so that is a moment right there, Pastor Patrick. That's a moment right there, because just too many people moving around and they wonder why they're suffering, and they don't have the wisdom that's sitting right there inside of that Bible in front of them. They just read just so I can say I read 3 chapters yesterday. Like, no, there's some real life stuff inside of this thing. Yeah. There's a story of a swindler who came out not too long ago. There was a story on Netflix who swindled a bunch of women for their money. Yeah. Same thing. Like, all these women were sending money to him. The only thing we know are people that use this for evil, but there are people that use it for good. Yes, very few.
I just talked about Nicodemus that came at night. That, yes, Jesus, I'm having issue. Even though I'm an officer, I'm a general in the army. What must I do?
Right.
He goes to Jesus to go and eat. He has a burning desire.
Yes.
Yes, like this, my friend is late now, but his children are doing great. 2 of his children, one is a lawyer, one is a medical doctor, the last one is in medical school. the second born as first class. He has a scholarship to England now. He's in England for his masters.
Okwade, if you are listening to me, I need you on this stage, because I know it's sneaking listening somewhere. I saw you earlier on Auntie B's platform. If you are listening, I need you. The link is pinned to the top.
Oh,
Okwade, yeah. Go ahead, Brother Patrick.
So we don't have to, we are talking about posterity, about the future.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing?
Right.
And you come and say, what pains me when you say you're a Christian? All these people that are working out, where I work in the manufacturing, and it's owned by a family business.
Mm-hmm.
These people are progressing like no man business, millions of dollars.
Wow.
And you need from the president of my job now, I senior him by age.
$1 million is not your mate.
Yeah.
Any day of the week. That's influence.
Millions. He knows me. They pay for my MBA. The guy is stupid. Say, Patrick, you are crazy. I'm struggling to do MBA. You got MBA. He's a white guy, but it's my boss. He's the president of the corporation.
Wow.
They are just passing on the word their family are doing. That's what we should be talking about.
Yeah. People are convinced that Daddy Freeze is Alabosi.
Hungry.
Yeah, I'm trying to be soft on Daddy Freeze because he's a fellow content creator. And I've watched, I try to, it's just like when Marquise came up on Auntie B, it's just some few minutes ago. And when, what I told him is like, you need to learn how to listen long enough. I've listened to Daddy Freeze long enough. He's just a normal human being. Of course, if somebody gifted his wife 26,000 pounds of a watch, I don't expect him to be objective. Of course not. See, this is our problem. Our expectations are everywhere. Why would we expect him to not be biased, right? If they just gifted the wife, if that they gave 26,000 pounds a watch to, what would you do? Even if it's ordinary Chanel bag, you saw Eniola Badnos receive a Chanel little gift bag there. Would you be objective?
Bro, I'm a baby boomer. I'm a baby boomer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Gen Z, they are clicker thinkers.
I am a confused millennial and Gen X. But yeah.
So that's why I mingle with people. Before I came here,
right.
I was privileged to teach jam classes or those teenagers. They like me.
Oh wow! What subject, sir?
Huh?
What subject?
I studied English.
Okay, English. Okay.
Yes. So my class is always jam packed. And most of these kids are smart. It's only English that is stopping them from entering university. Then they have all their credits, except English, maybe P or whatever. So I know they. I want to mingle with them. That the freeze they have they have the opportunity to influence the youth positively. So if they do, positively, all these cars they are lining around.
Okay, finally, somebody spell it in Yoruba for me. It's sorry. That neighborhood is called Sorry. I said spell it in Yoruba for me so I can know this. So sorry. That's the Beverly Hills in London, I guess. $2.5 million pounds sterling. The mansion that this guy lives in. It is what it is. Again, if you have it to catch up.
Yeah, but bro, I'm in supply chain, I'm in production, I'm in everything. But America now, we are struggling with staffing. Yes. A lot of jobs are struggling with staffing, healthcare and everywhere. But Nigeria, the unemployment is, what do you describe how many percentage?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I want to mingle with people that will help people to
that will help. Yes. So I think that's what Daddy Freeze is obviously doing. That's what it looks like on the surface, at least. But that's also what this guy PT is doing, because he aligns himself. So I call it the alliance, right? He aligns himself with somebody said D-rated. Well, Obi Kubana is D-rated. D-rated what? His name was everywhere on the blogs some few months back. So Obi Kubana, who is a popular socialite in Nigeria, obviously Daddy Freeze, then obviously Eniola Badmus. A lot of these people don't necessarily have money. Eniola Badmus is actually a friend, old friend, I should say. But and then people like Davido, that's the biggest star in Nigeria, arguably, right? He aligns himself with it. You can see that right there in that picture. That's Eniola Badmus coming to visit. He's like the big dog in London. If you're a celebrity in Nigeria and you're coming, he's like the big dog that you have to check in with him. So when you check in with him, you already told. It's like, you know, like how you visit presidents in Nassau Rock, right? There's already gift bag ready. They also bring gift, right? All of these different things that's ceremonial in nature, but there's a reason why people do those things. There's a reason. I'll tell you, I'm guilty of what I'm saying. I'm a student. That's what I'm sharing with you all, right? I'm writing my 4th book right now. All 3 books that I wrote before this one, I didn't do lunch. I didn't do a lunch. And one of my friends was like, you didn't do a lunch? I was like, yeah, I just want to get it out there on Amazon for my audience. They will see it, right? And it was like, no, that's not the point. You have to cook it. You have to make it look bigger than it is. Because not only will people launch it, but, you know, it looks bigger than what it actually is in the eyes of people, and perception becomes reality. You know, so so when you see everything that's going on in England right now with the burial of the Queen, it looks very ceremonial, like it's like all this useless stuff. But they know what they are doing. It's been working for thousands of years. So when you see stuff like that, yes, don't compare yourself to them because they may just be criminals, right? But pay attention to some deeper lessons there, right? Translate. This is the same thing with marriage and relationships, sir. If you don't edify the person you live with, don't be surprised if they don't become better. If all you see is everything that's bad about them, anything you focus on expands. Either it's positive or negative. Anything you put your mind focus, the mind doesn't understand negative and positive. It just sees that you focus on something. If I say don't look at red, the mind is looking at red. It doesn't understand the don't part. It focuses on the red. So if you have a husband at home, unless we're talking about an abuse situation, in which case you should seek professional help. If we're talking about he doesn't know how to stimulate, you fell out of love, you don't feel as attracted as anymore. Oh, by the way, you will become Chineye or Chioma, whatever her name is, that lady we're talking about. You think you'll never cheat? It go shock you. If your soul is not getting fed and you're stuck in that situation, it's only a matter of time before you do something wrong and then you justify it with logic. Then you will become people that say, what did he do to actually cause it? Did you notice how hard it was for the ladies to be accountable? So anyway, the whole point here is that if we can learn anything from these guys, right? As long as you're not going beyond your means, don't go and start renting Lamborghini because you want to be like PT. Don't do that. Okay? It's not sustainable. Oh, by the way, it's not using his money. If we look at some of these comments, right? He's allegedly getting people to register companies and getting them to take loans out. And then there's a share of that goes to SPAC Nation. If he's done stuff like that, it's only a matter of time it will catch up. Okay? It's predatory behavior. Not only him, every loan officer involved in that he has in his camp. We had that here. You saw what happened. Okay? I was in the middle of the real estate business in 2005 to 2008. There are a lot of associates that went to jail.
Yeah. I knew somebody too. You're right.
You know, not necessarily because they did anything wrong. Conspiracy. Somehow their books was exposed to somebody doing something wrong. Right? So, you know, so if it's that bad, it will catch up, you know. But hopefully he's covered his butt, because I know that viable, real businesses out there, they do these things, but they also have people signing disclosures that, hey, there's no gun to your head. You use your own mind to sign, even though they just finished talking to you to 2 hours, selling you a vision, right? But the fact is that you signed disclosure that with my full chest, I took this loan. With my full chest, I'm giving $1,000 of this 10,000 as seed faith into an organization I'm a part of. He may never be found guilty. That's the reality. You may see it's unfair. He may never be found guilty. He may never be charged. They did an investigation already. There's a reason why they say, there's nothing. He knows what he's doing. But if there's enough people, it doesn't have to be wrong. They will remove him from society. Hopefully not, because I hate seeing my brothers getting caught up when they can actually impact this world in a positive manner. The attention, the number one, the attention, and the number two, controversial part can completely go out of hand. It's a necessary ingredient of building any empire. It's necessary. Not because you created it, it's just that people will see what they want to see. Sometimes they want to drag you through the mud just because you look jealousy. People on the opposite end can cook it up. They can cook up controversies against you. It's now up to you to learn how to leverage it and say, face it with your full chest. Okay, that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. Actually, you facing it actually helps you. Because you're not running from your problems, because that's still your problem. And the fact that somebody is willing to cook up lies against you is just environmental factor. It's like mother nature. It's just the weather. When you get big and big and big in life, it will happen. It's a fact of life. Controversies follows attention. It follows, fame. It's just what it is. You saw what happened to Will Smith.
Yeah.
He was walking a straight line for 30 years. But the villagers hunted him down in March. They hunted him down. Like, you. And the wife got dragged along just because she's part of she's the wife. And she has her own controversies. What did they do? They took time off. They addressed it. You don't run from your own problems. Don't give your problems away. They're actually useful if you know what to do with them. Problems are a blessing. Yes, so let me get in there. I know you guys are saying some stuff there. He's not the only pastor in the UK as investigated, by the way. There are likes of Pastor Oyakilome. Winners Chapel, too. It might not be charged. Yes, I don't think anything's going to come out of it. I think if it would, they already dug up into their books. I don't think there's anything there. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because if you have an influencer like him who can change his way around and find a way to influence young kids, but I'm a little bit on the fence, because if all you have to influence young kids is wealth, that's not healthy. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable because it's not realistic. Everyone is not going to get rich as a fact of life. And you don't have to get rich. You could be average in terms of finances and live a fantastic, better life than people that are rich. Go ahead, Pastor Patrick.
Yeah, my question is that what is his product? What is he selling? I don't know.
Wealth. Getting people rich so they can have. That's all I got from what he said in Daddy Phil's video. And that's really all I got. It's teaching people how to trade stocks, cryptocurrency. So those are real products. Those are real companies behind those, what do they call it? Behind those instruments, right? So, so you take pride in what you have. No matter how little it is. No matter, get good. Gratitude. If you get better than the next person in gratitude, you're not anyone's mate ever again. But if all you do is, let me trigger somebody right now. If all you do is this.
Why are you crying?
By the way, you don't have to do it. Just people have to observe you as that. They just have to receive you as you're a complainer. You're always complaining. They know that you really went through something, but they are tired of hearing it. Once they see you coming through the door, they know you are coming over to talk about your wife in bad light. And they will lock the door and say, oh, I'm far away right now. Oh, yeah, I took the cab to the airport. Even though you are right. And this person has been showing up, you know. Yes, sir. Let me hear some words from you, Brother Patrick. I know you got some thoughts going through your mind.
Well, it's gonna be all right. You know, there's always a time limit for everything we do. Yeah, we had cases of people that have been into this, even though they are not pastor. Maybe you know of Ajudua. There's a guy called Ajudua then. He was a lawyer. He had fleet of cars. He swindled a lot of people from international businessmen. Millions. Maybe he's in prison now or whatever. So the Bible says, "What got him by vanity shall diminish." Yes. Yes. So why doing that? That's why Western world is developing. You know, people are investing in their future.
They are.
They are doing research. You know, there is invention, technology. You know. You know, bringing in businesses. Little kids are becoming millionaires.
Little kids, yes.
That's what we should be
in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, it's been even throughout the whole COVID thing, even throughout that whole thing. Yeah. Let me see here. Brother Ola, Gravita said, Brother Ola, I respect Daddy Freeze also. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand that man must eat at it. Yes, so my sister, I think that's a sister. Yes, so man must eat, because he's already quit his radio job right now. So, in any given video, he has a certain number of people coming to view whatever crap he's saying. Much grease to his elbow, right? As long as it's not criminal act. Right? Marquise is not a nice guy, please. Daddy Free's wife is too beautiful. I love his wife, but I don't like him. He is Baba Labosi. Voila. The one thing I don't like about Daddy Freeze is dragging his ex-wife in public. Gentlemen, listen to me. Your life is effed. I'm going to pardon Brother Patrick and not curse. I actually wanted to curse. If your ex-wife is not your friend, you will never know peace. If your ex, listen, marriage is not do or die, but once you have an ex-wife, if they are not your friend, you will never know peace. Write that down. You will have to look over your shoulder. And guess what? Because she's a woman. Especially if you live in the Western world, you can get away with all that kind of stuff because it's in Nigeria. Right? But you go on the internet, once your ex-wife goes and moves on, you need to move on. The best place to be is to be indifferent. It's neither here nor there. What does she need? She's the mother of your kids. She's a queen for the rest of your life if you love those kids. If you don't love those kids, knock yourself out. Do whatever you want to do. But if you claim to love those kids, you will never know peace if she's not your friend. I don't know if it's unfair. I don't know if it's fair. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it, feel free to call it whatever you want to call it.
Oh, you're right.
Yes, you're right. But you will never know peace. It's just what it is. It's just the way these things work.
Well, let me say one or two things.
Yes, sir.
You know, I took a class here in America about public speaking. And the first thing you must do as a public speaker is you must know your audience. Are you getting me? You know?
Yes, sir. It's a fact.
Yeah. You know, the language you use in communicating with them is very important. When your audience are stark illiterate and you are speaking BB grammar, you will lose them.
I know. Auntie B don't want me. She don't want me.
I'm not referring to you. I'm just bringing out, you know.
No, I'm even telling you now. Auntie B don't want me. But what I go do, I go be myself, eh?
So,
but yeah, I hear you though. You're right.
You know when Daddy Fizz is talking to people that are against him and saying, "I wish your mother doesn't give back to you." Like,
yes. They love it though. These people are toxic. People are toxic.
I know, but you know, there's a way that's what we call maturity. I'm gonna delete you for life. He's your papa, you know.
You remember when they blocked Bishop? What did he do? He went and come in with a different account. These people love toxicity.
He blocked you?
No. When he got blocked, he went and created a new account to come and be commenting. He got found out very quickly because he has the same pattern of talking.
So what I'm saying is that, you know, it's that will come out. So batching is not even surprised to me.
Oh yeah, because especially that is personal. I know.
It's not surprise to me. You can see that
it's not surprise
from his character.
Yes.
And when you know where you are, it's not all about him. Like I said, people are free to say whatever they want to say. They want to ask questions. And he has been a radio commentator for a long time. Use wisdom to answer questions.
They don't believe if they're not controversial to a certain level that they can't build a platform. And I disagree. I think, yes, you do need an element of controversy, but that controversy can kill you there.
It's not even controversy. It's what you believe in.
Yeah, especially if that's what you believe there, because then it's obvious that you lack self-control, because now it's perpetuating itself, because that's really who you are, right?
You know how many times they've been accusing the Auntie B, but you know she stood on her ground. We are not here to judge people.
Oh yeah.
He knows where he knows.
They don't know.
He knows his audience. People that criticize us are people that just come in and say, "What are you talking about?" They don't know our experience, where she's coming from.
Yep. I've told so many people, a lot of people that saw me on the platform that know me on the side, I said, no, you don't know her. You need to listen long enough. She's not... Before today, I've seen her kick multiple ladies out of the room because they were saying things that she doesn't agree with. So when she kicked one or two men out and they're like, oh, she's dragging me, I was like, no, you need to, especially if you're a man, you're saying that to me, you need to learn how to listen to people long enough. You can't use one event to judge them. You don't know them. You need to listen long enough, and then over time, even what you believe over time should be shaping up until you die. It should never be one thing, because you can't trust anyone, right? But at least it should be shaping up based on your ability to listen, right? If all you do is you hear. People just hear what they want to hear. They're not listening. They hear what they want to hear. That aligns with what they've gone through, what they can relate with, and that's the sad thing. But anyone that's here, ladies and gentlemen of Prestige, you know better, of course. We don't generalize. That's how we started this viral journey. We will assess everything. We try to be objective. We're not perfect either, you know. But yes, good points, Brother Patrick. Let me see here. Ofoyorete, good to see you here. I haven't seen. Okay, I see your comment there now. I guess she says, I'm not. Most of them are she, so I'm gonna assume she until she tells me otherwise. These guys are crooks. The UK authorities have pretty much stated that those who associate with them are also crooks. And then they do free advertising for Gucci, Fendi, and the likes. Yes, they do. They do. That's a good point. Even D-Love agrees. You are so right. They will use their money to buy designers and then give the designers free advertisement. No. Some of them get free merchandise. If they're popular enough, they have enough followers, they reach out to certain people, they give them for free. But of course, the public is gullible, especially the young ones, right? So they think, me too, I must show out. Gucci belt, Lomo, you know? Wahala.
I don't even know the belt you are wearing, Ola.
Belty, bitibao.
Who cares?
Thank God for my wife. If you see me look nice, it's my wife. I have no time. Pastor Patrick, I'm as they come. I don't know what the word, but I'm as fill in the blank as they come. Yeah, even to go on Amazon to buy stuff for myself is headache. If you want to punish me, take me to the mall and ask me to follow you around in the mall. That's how you punish me. Yeah. Let's see here. I missed the first 15 minutes of live, so I'm not sure if you have reminded people the membership is available to join. Yes, you did. One of the first thing I did Let me see. Hopefully I didn't lose that. Oh yeah, one of the first thing I did was show this. I didn't know you missed that. I shouted at you out in the beginning. Thank you so much. Yes, the membership is live. You see the join right next to the subscribe button. You can join at the supporters level, which is $2.99 US dollars, or the elite level, which is $4.99, or the partners level, which is $24.99 US dollars only, but it will convert to whatever currency you're on, you know. Yes, so yes, Adaya, good to see you. So what I want to do right now, what I want us to do, so for those that missed it, I want to play it, but this time around I'm going to pause it and make some points, you know, in between. This video is only 10 minutes, so we should be able to round up pretty quickly soon. But there's some lessons that I wanted to extract out as we watch this, and then we'll take it from there. All right, there we go. So obviously you can see cars. The fact that they're different colors is deliberate. It's designed to get your attention. If they were all black, they won't get this kind of attention. Black on black is beautiful, by the way. All right, so that's a Convoy. And it looks like he does this occasionally. And what else is it that we're not paying attention to here? There's somebody holding the camera, showing it to you. It's not just the people on that street. Why? Because we must tell the whole world that wealth creation is on point.
Please to give away.
Especially young people.
Yeah. So your first comment, let me see those who comment first. All the sneaker heads, you will become a mighty nation.
All right, let's catch that real quick. So you notice there was Obi Kubana in the previous video. That's the alliance part of it, right? Like I said, he aligns himself with people of influence. What does that do to your brain? Ask yourself, look at yourself in the mirror. What does that do to my brain? Right? It's either it makes you as a young person say, I want to be like this guy. Or if you're an older person, you're like, Gucci pastors. Bottom line is that attention is created. That's the bottom line, right? That attention that's created is viral in nature. Because, did you see the Pastor Toby Adegboyega stuff? What am I doing right now? We're giving him more attention, right? He knows exactly what he's doing, right? Okay. Now, at the beginning of this video right here, let's watch this. Who is filming this as they're walking? Why are they filming this? Ask yourself, why are they filming this? See, you forgot completely that there's got to be somebody holding the camera. You just felt like you were in the room with him and another superstar who also knows how to get attention. Because how did this guy get on my radar? They were spraying money in the middle of nowhere in the east of Nigeria. Remember that party? It was like 2 years ago. Obi Kubana. And all the celebrities in Nigeria converged in, where's that place? Oba, or something like that. There's a village somewhere in the east of Nigeria. Everybody converged there and they were spraying money and the videos went viral. Like, who is this guy? Oh, somebody now say he owns a hotel. He owns a hotel. He owns a, recreational. That's all the money they're spending. Now, if you know, you know that hotels cannot produce the money you're wasting like that. But we'll leave that for another day, right? Maybe he has other businesses, right? We don't know what we don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Please to give away.
Okay, watch this part.
Yeah? So your first comment, let me see those who comment first.
All right, listen to that. Your first comment. What do we know about YouTube? The more comments we get, the more chat we get, the more engaged you are. When you hit that like button, it tells the algorithms that, okay, let me find other people like Ajaya, right? It makes it grow. But he did it so seamlessly that you probably didn't notice that's what it was doing. Oh, let me see what the first comment, you get a free Snickers, whatever, blah, blah, blah. How is it going to find these people? Some of them do actually give away stuff, right? But the bottom line is that sneaker is not worth the amount of money it's going to make on YouTube if he actually grows. How many people are watching this video since this video has been live for 1 year? Probably a whole lot more than the people watching it live. I just want you to see some of those subtle things. He knows what he's doing beyond the stuff we want to talk about, which is criminal stuff, right? We don't even know that ever for a fact. Not now, right?
All the sneakerheads, you will become a mighty nation. Yeah. And so everyone watching me this afternoon are influencers. You've picked the phone now, like I said, and if you've been able to convince one person to tune in,
is that not fact? That's a fact. They know how to tell you the things that your mind already agrees with anyway. You do their common sense, right? You're influencing actively as you're moving. Those are facts. What is repeating it to you? But that's another second of content that you're consuming, and either you like it, know it or not, you're putting money in his pocket.
Them to leave a YouTube thumbs up or a
thumbs
message.
Up.
You are an influencer. Otherwise, again, just what we're about to discuss, we'll be trying constantly to fit into society. So, and everything that you're then doing, you'll give up on it because in comparison to the people that the world thumbs up, you feel like you're nothing. Now, that's a cowardly way of thinking. A real person.
He got you right there. Gentlemen, he got you by the balls. That's a cowardly way of thinking. If you think you don't have influence, right? Now we can flip it on the head. It's inspiring. What did I say earlier? People are leaders. Number 5. Go ahead, Pastor Patrick.
I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to, digest what he just said.
It's a lot. He knows what he's doing. PT knows exactly what he's doing. He's flipped this whole controversy thing on the head. He's on another person's podcast right now. Guess what he says every time you invite him to a podcast? Right? It's not going to just say yes, 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 because that doesn't look good too, right? He said, yes, yes, okay. Talk to Dami. And, we'll make it happen. He will make you feel good in that moment, right? But he also lets you know that his time is valuable, right? It's not just willy-nilly. And, my people talk to your people talk to my people, will make it happen, right? He maintains that respect level, but he takes care of you, right? People. It's about people. Anytime you see people talking about God so much, they forget to talk about people. They are not leaders. They're not leaders. People all the time, they do this. They do this. Whenever they do it, at the back of my mind, God, if I hear God 3 times in your sentence and I haven't linked it to how you're serving people, my mind says,
stop the cap.
Because it's a lie. Go in the Bible, you see all over the place. If you read it close enough, if you're reading it properly, yes, we honor God. Yes, we love God, right? But it's never, how do you demonstrate that? By loving God that you never see? Or you're just saying that because it makes you feel safer, because you think you're bribing God by saying that? I don't know. Just think about these things at the back of your mind, right?
Brother, let me round up. The Bible says God is love. You made a valid point. God is love. If you are not extending love to people, the Bible says it's going to bring the needy from dunghill. Yes.
Yeah.
He says it's going to bring, let me remember that verse. It's going to bring the needy from dunghill and place him among princes of his people. The needy from dunghill and place him among princes of his people to show you God's compassion. He said the Lord will arise and have compassion upon Zion, upon people. He said the time to favor you has come. Let's take it in another dimension. People need to be led right. And that's why I keep on saying the 21st century church is all about youth empowerment.
Youth empowerment.
And American churches, they have different, they make people differently. People that divorced, widow, people that just came out of prison, people that that need, they meet people's needs differently. So that's what I want Nigerian churches to be doing. Yes, it shouldn't be just Bible study alone. You should have people that that are going through some things, that different departments that you'll be meeting with them, they'll be pumping money there.
Yeah.
So this one is talking about, when they put on, I said, what is this guy talking about? Thumbs up, or is it everybody that will get glued to you?
Yeah. So he's bribing them. He knows what he's saying. He's engaging you. Guess what you're going to do in that moment? You hit that thumbs up. Because who wants to be on the other side of that? Right? It's a skill set.
Oh Lord.
It's a skill set, It's a massive skill set. He knows how to. He doesn't have to stop and ask you, please put thumbs up. Or he just says it in the middle of his sentence, like nothing just happened.
You don't have to tell people before they do thumbs up. They know your value, bro.
If they see value, they do. If
they see value, you just talk about your video being watched, being viewed by. They know the value. People don't waste their time, especially abroad. You know what I mean? So. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of young people following him. So I'm hoping that somebody will see this video and say, well, I like PT, but let me pay attention to his moves and not how I feel, right? Let me pay attention to exactly how it's been able to influence us. Maybe I can flip it and use it for something good, right? I don't know if it has anything bad going on. If he does, undefeated. The truth is undefeated. It will catch up, But we can definitely see some of these things and say, he has some skills to be able to influence people, right? Now I dumped it down because it's all about wealth, and flamboyant and flashy things. Like I think it was D that just said that, or Adaya. It's not sustainable right here. Yeah, they claim to be creating wealth, but it's always about bling bling. It can't. I guess can someone material things? I get the gist. For how long sustain this kind of life? Not too long. It's just not sustainable. There's not that much wealth. You need. Unfortunately, some people are going to be at the bottom of the pyramid. Majority of people are going to be at the center, and very few will be at the top. And you can be in any of these positions, except extreme poverty, right? And be happy. How many pictures have you seen of kids playing football in their last pattern, in their last underwear in Africa, and they're smiling and laughing? They don't have the frame of reference that you're probably operating from. They don't know what it looks like to have a big living room. They don't care. They don't know what they don't know, but they are happy as long as they can eat, right? That's how the world operates in reality. Anybody that's selling wealth, sure, just understand that it's their own pocket they're trying to fill.
Yeah.
All of you are not going to make it. And the ones that don't make it, they'll say, well, we never guaranteed anything, or you didn't work hard enough. They have more than enough excuses to give. But the truth is that it's just not sustainable to be preaching wealth at everyone. Now, he also mixes it up with nation building, which we obviously know Nigeria needs, right? But it's not, Elumelu is not going to build Nigeria. Not by himself. He can help. He can donate money. He can donate money to the right politician. But by himself? No. What kind of unrealistic expectations is that? Rich people don't build nations. They don't. Wealth don't build nations. They don't. Patrick, are you ready to move? You wanted to put in your last word, or you still want to hang out? I got a few more to go though.
Yes, I'm gonna put on my last word, and
okay.
I just remember this footballer, the European young guy that has a broken cell phone. People are like, this guy is a millionaire, it's a multi. He said, I don't care. I'm gonna go take care of people in my village back in Africa, from Senegal, where he's building houses for the poor, taking care of people.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's a footballer. He has a broken cell phone. The face is broken. So I don't have to change it. You know, I can afford it, but that's not it's no big deal. So we should be thinking that way.
Yeah. Just keep that at the back of your mind. Whatever your kids want to do, encourage them to do that. Don't say, "Hey, I want you to be rich like me." Don't do stupid stuff like that. They need to just be happy people who serve another person. You need to be able to take care of their children, their family, emotionally, financially, and they don't need to be able to serve 1 million people like Dangote. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
Dangote now.
Dangote, you know the kind of peace of mind he has.
Yes.
Or maybe Ola is just being a hater. It's only one in Africa. How realistic is that to be asking every kid to pursue after that? The kid that's going to become that will become that without your help. You know? So thank you so much, Patrick. I'm going to let you go, and then I'll finish off the video. Yeah, we'll take it from there. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's keep going here. So you have missed quite a bit. You can always rewind later. Good to see you, Anna. Good to see you, right? Let's continue here. Let's continue.
Don't mind how many. It's just give me one person. And let me be able to convince this one person to create wealth.
So he's right about that. Give me one person. He gets that. He understands how to focus on one person. Oh, one person. I'll give you an example. Some years back, they was doing something they called the NEA Awards. My wife and I used to, align with some of the guys organizing that were our friends. So there was Sammy Oposo, who was doing a show. I always give Sammy Oposo this credit. Sammy Oposo is a guy I've met a few times. A very pleasant guy. Never mind his personal life with whatever he did some few months back. But anyway, then there was also what's his name? This comedian, Agu, short guy like that, smally guy. Somebody help me. Agu, his last name. He was sick some few years back. He went through some surgery and stuff like that. Something Agu. Anybody can help me? Comedian guy. Julius Agu. Thank you, Anna Lawani. Julius Agu was around Samuel Oposo. So they had a Friday event, and we went to New York City, and Julius. So I guess they didn't promote that event very well. NEA struggled all the way until it died. I think it's completely dead now. It's NEA Awards. But anyway, Julius Agu, right, was supposed to do his set as a comedian, and then Samuel Oposo was supposed to do his set, right? But they didn't promote the event very well. Now, me, as a church boy, I follow anything that Samuel Oposo was heavy in the mid-2000s, right? So if he's around, I was surprised too. I was like, why didn't you tell me so I can put some words out there and promote it too, right? But anyway, Julius Agu climbed the stage, and his whole set was complaining about the fact that they didn't promote the event. Even though myself was I was in the audience. I paid money with my wife to come there. I had my cousin from London who was around. We paid money to get into this event, but he sat down there and complained about the people that were not at the event and the people that did a bad job promoting. And this is what impressed me with Samuel Oposo. Samuel Oposo came on stage with his full set and gave us the best worship session I've ever seen in my life. He delivered, regardless that it was about 12 people in that auditorium. Big auditorium in New York City, just 12 of us sitting just in the front line. He delivered. So this guy gets it, one person at a time. He just literally not too long ago signing up for Twitter and stuff like that. He gets it. Why are we waiting for people that don't necessarily have to learn these things? Why can't we learn this and use it in our favor? Every time there's one person in front of you, serve them, take care of them, right? And that takes me to this other secret: spectators versus family. When someone is before this guy, he treats them like family, like royalty. When you're a spectator, all you're doing is watching the video, he treats you accordingly. He doesn't feel like he's it owes you anything. As a matter of fact, it will help you, give you more controversies to talk about. That's definitely something I wanted us to talk about. Just pay attention to that. It's not right and wrong. That's something you should pay attention to. Anytime somebody's before you, be pleasant all the way. Give them your full attention. If you couldn't, excuse yourself. Listen, I'm going to get right back to you. I got to handle this other stuff. Give them that attention. Your wife, give her the attention. Just be intentional about that. Just be intentional. Let's keep going.
To make sure that people have, that's what it is. So I'm saying this again and again to say that we have an office now, a nice shield office. Those who will be sent money. Are you?
So people having and wealth are two different things. It's conflicting them together. That's what makes me still look at him sideways. Okay, but we talk about prestige here, right? Prestige is a brand. Everyone, family, prestige family, like it's a brand. But wealth is just too vague, and it tells me that, hey, it spells that you're trying to fill your own pocket. And that's the only thing that, and helping a nation to succeed, economically speaking, has nothing to do with individuals garnering wealth. It has nothing to do with that,
Okay.
In 3 months or less than, I will be able to turn 1 million naira into 5 million naira.
Turning 1 million naira to 5 million naira, somebody may say, hey, it's possible. People do it all the time. Dude, stop the cap. Okay? You know what I'm about to do.
Stop the cap.
All right, stop the cap. Stop the cap, okay? If you do it one time, you're not going to be able to do it the second time. Anybody that comes out and say, oh yeah, I trade the stock market, I trade stock options, Forex, and I turn 1 million to 5 million naira. Nah. You can't replicate that. If it happens one time, it's not going to happen the second time. If it does, it's not going to happen the third time. It's probably a setup. You're going to lose all your money. Guaranteed. It's a matter of time. When anybody gets 30% return on their investment, that's like printing money, even if it's 10%. So when you save 1 million to 5 million naira, what, we doubled the money about 5 times over? Yeah, that's going to send out the wrong message to the gullible, the young people. But yet they're filming this and they're putting that out there. What does that tell me? There's an agenda. An agenda must agenda.
What?
So this is my strategy.
Tell me.
I will make sure I make nothing less than 30% in one trade. So I've already done my calculation.
Now, she made a good point there. If you're making sure you're making 30% in every, you make sure, now we're talking money, right? You make sure that you're doing 30% per trade. How do you make sure of that? Right? It's not going to happen. It's just unrealistic, period, right? The only thing you can make sure is that you're tracking your trade. You know that you're going to have losses. The idea is that your wins is going to outweigh your losses at the end of the year. And then you look at the actual number overhead at the end of the year. You say, I made 30%. Then Dangote will find you and say, you know how to print money at 30% annually. You notice that when they were talking, they didn't talk about she did say in 3 months. But professionals don't talk about months. They talk about on an annual basis. They annualize them numbers. Okay? It's unrealistic at best. Nonetheless, they put this out there. That's going to mislead a young kid somewhere.
I will trade.
I would say you can only determine that you can do something because you saw somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So at the age of 22, I was trusted to administrate the first SPAC Nation welfare department. That's literally how the story began. Yeah.
Okay. And $1 million naira to the businesses, and let's do it today. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. You'll see that we've gotten into the serious part. When I get to the serious part, I don't reply no negative stuff. I can't, because there's no time for that. We've had a good discussion. I still recommend that if you missed it, hide our cowards. Because I know pastors in Africa who have big cars, Bentleys and all that. but they drive Toyota to church. And I say, why do you do this? You do know this is deceit. That's my own opinion. Then they will say, you know, people will talk. And I'm saying, but then you should not get the car in the first place.
That he's painting himself as the good guy here. Okay? And you know how that goes. That right there is too much effort to painting himself as the good guy, right? So he's saying, like, all your church members should have nice cars too. That's unrealistic. You don't control what's going on in people's life. For whatever reasons, they're not able to do certain things at certain times, no matter how much you preach. It's just a reality. Some will be successful, some will be okudiakato, some will be right there in the middle, right? You have enough people having success, you can use that to inspire other people, right? So maybe Ade Farasin says, I'm not bringing the Bentley to church. That's going to make people feel some type of way. You know you're lying, right? Oh, now we're going to play the right and wrong. We're gonna play the right and wrong card, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. What would Jesus do? WWJD. Paul said there will be false prophets and prophets in your midst. They all are money worshippers. By their feet you shall know them. Idol, money, fame worshippers.
Oh, you're right.
On point. Anyway, so let's go back here. Let's see. Let's keep going.
For some of us, we are who we are. If I have a penny, somehow, once the boys around me know, it will get on him.
Do you think is the great work that you're doing?
I think it.
Oh, that's Chude, by the way. I like Chude. Chude does some good work. With interviews some of these influencers, and he's very objective, so I like that. Now, PT voice is smooth and slick. I said that earlier. Maybe you missed it, right? It's part of the game. It's game. And it's not necessarily wrong. It is what it is. It's how people receive you. It's your responsibility to learn how to communicate in a way that is easier to receive. So you can actually land the seed you're trying to sow. If you're like, no, I'm just going to be myself. What's the point? Don't you want to land the message? What message exactly are you selling? What's the point if all you're concerned about, I'm just going to be myself, it will land if you land? No. Social skills. Doesn't mean you have to change yourself. You just have to be aware that that is a thing. That's a real thing. So you're right. It's one of his personality he sells to his young audience. He arrogantly talks very calmly. Red flag. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Keyword being probably, right? Nice one. Let's keep going.
Intelligence is relative. Media is supposed to show you what you want to see. So she can't say all she sees because she hasn't voted.
So he's right about that, because Chida was talking about some person that was doubting him if it's authentic or not. He's right. Like, hey, come on, look. You can't see if you haven't looked. If all you are seeing is everything on the surface, remember, we don't generalize, right? But the only thing we talk about is the controversies, right? So, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's right. But just because it's right doesn't mean it's not going to end up in jail. I hope not. Okay? And I don't want to speak that to this young man's life if he hasn't committed anything, right? Based on society standards.
So what I would say is, look, because that will make you more intelligent and even help you for your own personal life, because you look beyond what is said.
You look beyond what is said.
I think.
Okay, when they are ready. Thank you, guys. Be seated, please. Livingstone is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man.
That's a curse. It just swore, right? That's a curse. It just bored me to death. I'll be honest with you. Sound like because I'm a music director, sound like something I would say, not as a pastor, as a music director. Like my music, the people I work with, the choir in church, they make fun of me all the time because I'm a little stern. So I understand this kind of personalities. But that's another viral moment. Everyone was talking about this, in spite of the fact that I really didn't do anything wrong. Right? But it's a good viral moment, right? Not only that, he addressed it on 2 mornings after that. the way he addressed it, it did like, I'm not gonna apologize. Said it smoothly like that. Okay. Chinese said, Chinese, good to see you. Such a smooth talker. Only Nigerian Jamaican girls are easy like that. Jesus Christ. Easy. Don't tell these prosperity preachers that, oh, they will tell you Jesus became poor, that they may be rich, and even quote scripture to justify it. Problem. Hey, people will justify their bullshit with logic, right?
That's long. So, but thanks, guys. We'll come back. We'll sing together in a minute.
He said thanks. What do you want from him?
Was sleeping off.
He said he was sleeping off.
You know, at the end of this happens. So men have built what is called reliable system. But in reliable systems, right, what you will never achieve is the life you want to live. You will live, but you will not live the life you want to live. You will practice as a religion. And if we don't do that, we're not going to evolve. The West is evolving, Africa is devolving. Unfortunately so. We have to reject the religion, the practices, the culture that we met, because that culture did not do Nigeria or Africa any good.
No lies detected, right? No lies detected. But again, they're not necessarily telling you lies. But is it manipulative? Maybe. Is it just influence as a skill set? Most likely, in my opinion. I don't think, again, unless, the stuff it does internally, like getting people to sign up for loans, that's all manipulation, right? But this public talk, if you notice, let me rewind that small. If you notice, who else is in this picture that you can see? The person carrying the camera. Who is filming this? Who orchestrated this? Why is he walking towards the camera? Where are they going?
And if we don't do that,
the camera is moving.
Going to evolve. The West is evolving.
Where are they going?
Africa is devolving. Unfortunately so. We have to reject the religion, the practices, the culture.
We have to reject the religion. A lot of people are hurt by what religion has done for them in Nigeria. Nothing. So he's speaking to certain mind. He knows what he's doing. You can take some of this skill set and use it for good. If you're not speaking to people's heart, you're wasting your time, even if you're right, even if you got all the facts laid out. You have to be able to tell stories. You have to be able to speak into their mind. Right? They might even disagree with you. You have to be able to speak to their mind, not the surface stuff. Okay? So it's never as simple as, let me just lay out the facts. And then, no, that's how you feel. That's why you don't sell anything. Okay? If you really want to get people to move, to take action, you got to speak to the inside man or woman.
Culture that we met, because that culture did not do Nigeria or Africa any good.
When we couldn't reach what we're reaching for, it is not skill that failed us, it is knowledge. It just didn't know it.
So profound, right? It is knowledge you are missing. You didn't know that before. But guess what? Most of the things we need is a reminder. I'm not teaching you anything new here. It's just all reminders, right? He gets that. He holds a microphone and speaks to you directly.
Enough. You remember, how long we were thought about not being in debt. But what we didn't know is that nations are in debt, billionaires are in debt, and in debt they rejoice.
He has a point, but he's subtly selling the idea that you must get a loan, right? He has a point, but he's selling you the idea that, hey, sign up for your company and you're going to get a loan, and don't forget to pay your what? Your seed faith, right? He knows what he's doing, but he's right. Because the truth is that the biggest nation in the world, how much does America owe right now? Like $24 trillion, right? Divide that by 300 million people. Do the math, right? We all owe somebody some kind of money if you live in a nation that owes money. That's just the bottom line, right? All right, let's keep going.
You'll get more updates, but guess what? My sons and daughters are out, and this is the convoy. So I've got to show you so that you'll be inspired. If you're angry,
He said, I've got to show you so that you can be inspired. And then he goes, what? He has to address the haters, of course. Of course. If he doesn't address the haters, it's just another watered down Pastor Adefara's message. That's boring, right? He has to address, listen to that carefully.
But guess what? My sons and daughters are out, and this is the convoy. So I've got to show you so that you'll be inspired. If you're angry, it's because you don't like good things. We all walk.
If you're angry, it's because you don't like good things. Hug yourself. Don't hug a transformer. Yeah. Even me, I feel the vibe. You get it? Anna Lawani says, now wow, how do people get this kind of skill? That's what we're doing here. Ladies and men of prestige, that's what we're doing. We're learning it right now as we speak, right? True, anyone with a message must learn the skills. Writing, speaking, sales, marketing, absolutely. Right? The title, the thumbnail may look like we're about to cloud chase. We have to get your attention. But trust me, there's always a lesson that will come here to learn.
Whoa. Welcome, man.
So good to see you.
That's Daddy Free's wife. Did you notice that he said, welcome, ma? For my American friends in the room, he's showing a certain level of respect. You're going to see another example of that in a second here, right? Well, when you say welcome, ma, it's like you are edifying that person. If that person had the guards up, they lower it small for you. They lower it just a little bit. They let you in a little bit. Are you able to do things like that? Or you're like, no, this is just me. I'm just me. People think I'm blunt. No, you're just rude. You're just rude. I have to tell you, you're just a rude person. You're not blunt. Blunt language? What is that? No. You're just rude. Especially if you've had enough people tell you that you are just blunt. They're just being nice to you. They really want to tell you that you're rude. And there are things you're missing out that you probably will never realize. Because they won't tell you that I'm not doing business with this person. Because they don't want to deal with that. It doesn't feel good for someone to just be, I'm a blunt person. No, be aware of that. Maybe you're assertive. Yes, there are people like that. But just be aware. Just the awareness is half the battle won.
This then is a bit dedicated.
Every single day. How many hours?
Maybe an hour.
Alliance. Alliance, that's Davido, right? A pastor in the club. What's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to talk about it. That a pastor is hanging out in the club. What does that do? Gets me more attention. You're probably never going to come to my church anyway. It gets me more attention, right? You get to talk about it. Insta blog will carry. This one will carry. Gist lover will carry, right? What's the worst that can happen? Just additional attention. It's controversial. It creates more attention. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that don't kill yourself with that attention and controversy because it can kill you. It can be toxic. All right. But you need to be aware that it's a thing and you need it if you are selling any message. Okay?
Hello. But if you're really on mad, not even you can make money every day. Now we can start. You see, now we can start.
Hey! You get it? All right, so Eniola Badmus is checking into the Godfather in London, right? Anna says, trust me, they read, they study, they implement. Absolutely. Yes, they do. Okay, some of the greatest minds in this world are criminals. You need to be aware. Okay? Some of them got away with it. Some of them were caught. Some of them changed their lives and they did better with it. Right? That's just the reality. If you listen to him a few years ago, you'll notice his growth. Exactly. Exactly.
Any other bad ones? We thank you for the good life and health, peace, joy that you've bestowed upon. Thank you for the stable friends and families all over the world. We thank if we raise our glasses,
So sorry about that. You couldn't hear me. So what I was saying is that in Nigeria, we call it packaging. I struggled. I was responding to what Anna said. If you're a content creator on YouTube, you're already learning these skills. Yes, your analytics under the audience tab will tell you what people are responding to. If you have enough audience, it shows you the numbers, what they're watching, and it shows you what they like to consume. Sometimes there's a misalignment. It doesn't match, you know. Can you hear sound now? Let me know that you can hear me still. Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure before I continue. Can you hear me?
all the good desires.
Can you hear my voice?
Coming to pass.
Yes.
In Jesus' name.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So you heard in Jesus' name there. So yes, like I said, I was responding to that. So under the audience tab, it tells you what the people are watching, and a lot of time it's completely different from what you actually want to share, right? So you know, you have to find a way to package. Packaging, we call it in Nigeria. You have to package, right? You have to present it in a way that they can receive it. You have to do the same thing in your micro level relationships. You have to do the same thing if you're an influencer, a leader of some sort, you're trying to lead an organization. You have to learn how to do that. And you've seen him practice that. His soft voice, he knows when to come in with the controversy. He knows when to pull back, right? And he knows when not to cross the line. From what we've seen so far, if he's doing anything illegal, is behind the scenes and we can't tell. You know, it is what it is. We just can't. We can't say that. All right. Thank you so much. I know we have a little delay. All right.
Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday.
So if you're looking at this conduct, you notice that it's very respectful. But all these people around him. Now watch this guy.
Happy birthday.
Watch this guy closely. There's a scene coming up I want you to watch closely. And I want you to tell me what you see. So let me pause that real quickly. That guy you're looking at, his name is Israel DMW. DMW stands for Davido Music Worldwide. Is the manager of I don't know if it's a road manager, but he's also very popular in the blogs. He follows Davido around anywhere he goes. But if you notice something, this is something that Nigerians are very good at, especially the guys, to get this. You see how he came and he knelt down, right? So I'm like, why are you kneeling down for somebody that's younger than you? You don't get it. Gentlemen, we understand authority. When there's a person that's placed in the position of authority, you need to understand that, right? You need to understand that if you're going to ascend to their position ever, you need to do things like this. It doesn't have to be kneeling down. Whatever it means, whatever that is in your culture, that means you show respect, right? That means you honor not just that person, but the position they occupy, right? He's doing that to Pastor Toby. What does he care if he's a criminal or not? This is the guy that everyone is respecting in London. Everyone visits him when they come to London. It is what it is. They probably talk on the phone, they chat, they do video calls, and he shows up and he's on his knees. Watch that. And he has hands on toilet, Papa. Right? He's gonna do it again. Now, does this mean you should be kneeling down everywhere for everyone? Of course not. Of course not. I just want you to understand the move. It's not about kneeling down. Your culture may be quite different. It's about if somebody is in a position of authority, honor that position. You've seen it in real life where things matter. You see all the governors are called Your Excellency for a reason. The presidents, right? Everybody, yeah. I remember I went to hang out in New York City with my uncle some few years back during I think they're doing it right now again, the United Nations stuff. But they do it every September. When it was Mama Peace and her husband, what's his name? Good Luck Jonathan, that was around. When they moved by, you're like, everybody just, how do people treat the queen? Even the prince and the princess and all these people, right? There's a reason. In your lasho, in your people, if you know how to take care of people, particularly at an emotional level, starting with your children, your wife, the people in your world, the people at your job, right? If you disengage and stop being so attached to, I don't want to look like I'm begging, or I don't want to, there's a fine line you can cross and it looks stupid, right? But you need to be aware that this is a real thing. You will miss out. Even if you do all the right thing at that job, you will miss out big time if you don't understand this. That's why he's on his knees. It's not really a big deal. It's kind of trivial, but it means a lot. It's a big deal at the same time. I'm speaking from both sides of my mouth. Did you notice? So they brought gift, right? What do you do? What's the right thing to do when you come to visit people? Bring a bottle of wine, you bring gift. Gentlemen, there's a lot of men that don't know how to do this. I'm one of them. I have to be reminded. I tell my wife, please remind me because I'm terrible at it. Remind me. We got to stop by. Buy a bottle of wine. I'm just thinking about it a lot. But that's why I would call her the helper, right? My helpmate. It's very easy for her. She's like, yeah, we got to pick up a bottle of wine. Why? It's not about the bottle of wine. It's called courtesy. It goes a long way. They don't forget how they feel. They might forget the actual thing, but they don't forget how you make them feel. Ever. Let's keep going. Almost done. Did you see him kneeling down to his boss? But he's praying for him. So if you ever see this guy, it's controversial too. Controversies follow him. But part of it is what we're looking at right now, right? Part of it is what we're looking at right now. Because, some people is kissing ass. Yeah, not really. Not really. Relax. I always tell you, just relax, okay? Just relax. There are ideologies you are attached to, okay? There are ideologies that you're attached to that's hurting you. I want you to be aware today, okay? There are ideologies that you are attached to is hurting you. Pay attention. Oh, I just believe that this is how. And I just feel like, feelings are too far from reality a lot of times. Be aware of how you feel. Take some control. You'll never be able to take full control of it, by the way. But take some control of that. I feel like, wait, that's my feelings. Okay, is that the reality? Oh. Okay, how can I serve this person right now? How can I make them feel better than how they felt before they came in my presence? It sounds kumbaya. My brother would say, that sounds kumbaya. Like, yeah, that's precisely what you need to be doing if you want to gain big time in this life. People will bless you. People will come from far and wide and just bless you. They will never forget. Oh, by the way, if they felt terrible around you, they never forget. They just won't come around you anymore. They will never tell you too. By the way, they don't want the problems. They don't want to tell other people too. They don't want it coming back to them to say, oh, it was this guy that said that. A lot of normal people don't want that problem. So you can't wait for them to tell you that your mouth or your breath smells. You can't. You have to take care of yourself. Assume that it's probably going to be funky after a few hours. Take care of it. Right? Shout out to Thato. Good to see you, Thato. Juju always kneel down for Davido. Juju, right? So not surprised he's doing the same for PT. Yes. That's why they love him. It's not just that, but it's probably reflecting other areas of his life. You just want to serve, right? You ever heard about the servant leadership? After all, they're all in the same circle. It's not really a big deal, but it makes everyone feel a certain way, maybe potentially awkward, like get your butt up, bro. Right? That's the highest way of honoring, edifying, edification. Yes. Honoring, edifying someone who is higher authority. It's about the position they occupy. It doesn't matter if that's a 10-year-old kid on that throne. It's the throne that you're honoring. Stop acting like there's no reason why people that did it before you did it like that. There's some things that are new knowledge, right? Technology, whatever. But when it comes to some of these things that have nuances, relax and pay attention. There's a reason why they do what they do. When they say in your lasho in your, the literal translation is that people are your clothing. They cover you. People are your covering. If you don't take care of people, you're going to hurt. The problem is that you won't know where the hurt is coming from. Because, you know why? Do you know why you won't know where the hurt is coming from? Because...
You're right.
There's no surface anything that tell you you're wrong, because actually you're right, because you have the right to be right, right? Sometimes I will call it high service. Yes, it can. It's a fine line. It's a blurry line between this and high service. But when there's an actual authority, recognize it. That's the authority that person is honoring, and you need to steal that method and use it for your own good. If there's no actual authority, or other people around you, like your colleagues, are starting to feel some type of way that you're kissing ass, then of course you have to balance it. Don't be stupid. Let's not be stupid, right? Because now you're robbing the people you're spending the most time with. You're rubbing them up the wrong way. They're also people, right? So you have to find a balance. There's a culture in your context. Figure out that culture and use it in your favor. Okay? Yes, I recently learned the lesson of always carrying a gift where possible. Yes, just do it. The return on investment is stupidly, amazingly, infinitely too big for me to mention. Because it stamps a feeling on people. Yeah, mostly non-intentional. It's a Yoruba culture thing. I do it too, even if I see someone in place of high authority in the mall. Yeah, believe it, it's not natural to some people. Some people are ready to spell out the dictionary meaning of respect on Google and say, that's not really respect. I can call you Bodaoli. You're missing the point. You're missing out. Right? I do it anywhere, not all the time though. Yes. It's more of it's an art. It's not an exact science. Okay? There are some countries that Toby cannot try this in. Sweden, for example, wouldn't encourage this kind of lavish spending. Oh yeah, the spending. They will start looking for you, right? They will start digging. There are people that their career is to dig into your stuff and throw you in jail. No matter how long it takes. It may take them 30 years to find you out. They will find you eventually. You can ask the mob families and stuff, right? B.O. Ahilo, I see you. I see you, brother. Yeah. I agree. I do it too of respect. But when I know you are up in something wrong, I won't succumb. Yeah. That means, again, detachment from the value. If there's a long-term value, identify the value. The value is if somebody is a higher authority and in a context where you benefit from, you never lose doing that. You never lose. You might lose short term. You might look a certain way short term, like you look like you're ass kissing right now. But the long term effect is what you should always pay attention to. Who is Juju? Oh, Juju is his nickname. Okay, thank you. That's his name. Israel DMW, right? As you can see, I don't pay too much attention. B.O. Baba, good to see you. So yes, another classic. What do you guys think? Another classic. The membership is open. The membership is open. You can join. I'll see if I can post the link permanently somewhere in the description, so you can join just to support. It helps us. It helps us support. Okay. Our goal is a lot of people. Okay. We want you loyal. If you find that you're noticing that you can tell you like what Ola is saying and you can tell what's about to say, I want you. I need you. I need you to be a leader on this platform. And, we'll take care of you in terms of what it's going to take to move the ship together. But I need people that are going to damn near turn this to a religion. I don't like the idea of a religion. But after a while, you start hearing it almost sound like you're hearing, like, you know where Allah is going with this, right? Like, I'm now getting predictable. We need more. I need more of you. I need you for young kids, young ladies, young men out there. So I just want you to have that at the back of your mind. Somebody said good morning. It's good night for me, but I hello. Yes, yes, I hail you, Bio. Yeah, so yeah, so definitely, if you start to notice that you've listened long enough, I would say definitely make sure you listen to at least 100 videos on this platform before, because after a while you start, I know where it's going with that, and I like it. I think I mastered something. I've used it. It works for me. Then I definitely need you, because we're going to impact a lot of lives together. You hear me? You get it, right? And if you don't get it, forget about it, right? So yeah, that was a good one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of Prestige. I appreciate you. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be hanging out with my brother Sahil. If you don't want to go and sleep, if you're in the US, it's called Sahil Speaks. Sahil Speaks. Okay? Sahil Speaks. Let me put it here so you can see it. Sahil Speaks Network on YouTube, and I'll be hanging out there for a few hours, talking with a few gentlemen. So if you want to come there and hang out, just make sure in the chat you say, "Hey, I came through Men of Prestige," right? Just say that in the chat when you come to hang out if you want to. But yes, it's going to be another fun time with my brother tonight. I'm tired right now, but I can go and rest for about, 40 minutes or so. Drink some water or something like that. But hopefully, as usual, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.